brought to you by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results. ChefIQ.com. All that's left for the two local teams. Play out the string. The Giants 2-12. The Jets 3-11 after the results on Sunday. For Giants wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson, his team 2-12. What's the message the rest of the way?
Man, just keep going. We got 3 games left. Let's win these last 3.
They have lost 8 in a row. With that win for Washington, they snapped an 8-game losing streak. As for the Jets, they were blasted in Jacksonville. Jamie and Sherwood on SNY says, we didn't get it done, period.
Monday through Saturday, that's where our coaches come in. On Sunday, it's all about the players. Your talent's got to show up. All the work you put in during the week have to show up. And again, the last 2 weeks, we just haven't been doing it.
He even said at one point they haven't been showing up. They gave up 5 touchdown passes to Trevor Lawrence and a rushing touchdown, as well as he accounted for 6 scores. Sunday Night Football, the Vikings beat the Cowboys 34-26. Couple of touchdown passes for J.J. McCarthy to Jalen Naylor. NFL injuries of note: Patrick Mahomes, a torn ACL, and it certainly appears that Micah Parsons of the Packers also tore his ACL, though that is not confirmed yet. Tonight, the Steelers play the Dolphins on the Fan at 8 p.m. The Nets beat the Bucks and beat them good, 127-82. Brooklyn had 9 players in double figures. Knicks and Spurs NBA Cup championship game tomorrow night in Vegas. The Canucks beat the Devils on Sunday. Tonight, the Rangers play Chris Kreider and the Ducks. This report brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety and by Ray Cattina Mercedes-Benz of Edison. It is 24 in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn app.
Brendan Tierney. Sports Radio 101.9 FM. The Fan. WFAN.
Whoa. Hey, at least the key card worked today. Let me in the building, Dove. What's going on, everybody? How are you? 10:02 on the Fan. And, interesting week last week for sure. I want to get one thing out of the way. We'll get into the show. Obviously, a lot of Jets and Giants, Mets with the moves, Yanks. Please do something, Yankees, please. 888-808-1019. So Friday was very emotional for both of us, and I think that you guys felt it. But one thing that we appreciate how you reached out to us, what you said. It was felt, and it was honestly, truly, greatly appreciated. Because one of the things when you do a show like this, it's very easy. And that's actually kind of the art of it. You almost don't want to think as if you're speaking to an audience. You just want to have a conversation. And I think that that's something Sal and I were pretty good at. And when you do that, though, right, you almost forget how many people that you do speak to and how many people that you do touch. And the amount of people that I bumped into over the weekend, and I know that Sal went through the same things we were texting, it was palpable. I mean, I remember my son had a hitting lesson, and we had about an hour or so before basketball practice, and we went to get sushi, and there were 3 different couples, people I've never met, just came up and said, hey, we had tears in our eyes on Friday. I say that only because I'm doing the show today, I'm doing the show tomorrow, I'm doing the show Wednesday, I'm off Thursday, I'm coming back, I'm doing the show on Friday. Friday, I don't know where it'll be emotionally, but we'll get through it. But I can't do every show and every call about like the emotion and the change. And I'm just doing the show. I just wanted to kind of get that out of the way because I really do appreciate you guys. I mean that. And I know that I speak for Sal. And I already miss him. Like, I'm looking at this empty chair and I don't see that lunatic. It doesn't seem right. But it is what it is. It's a tough business. We're big boys. We are good and we will be good. I promise you that. But from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you. Now, let's roll. All right, 888-808-1019. I was thinking about this, God almighty. I'll tell you, if there's ever a time to stop doing regular shows on the Fan, it's now. These football teams are the worst, dude. I don't know how. I've been reflecting a lot. I don't know how anybody has even conjured up the energy to have meaningful conversations about these doormats. I mean, like, it almost seems like the Jets aren't trying right now. At least the Giants gave you a competitive game, but they are so bad, and both teams are so far away from being relevant. Like, I can't waste time. I'm not going through the mechanics of the game. That goes without saying. So I broke it down into really 6 very basic components, because there's been times where, watching the Jets, certainly when they won a couple of games before the bye and after the bye, and the Giants, when they beat a couple of good teams early in the season, all right, maybe they're not that far away. Nonsense. Both of these teams are miles away from NFL relevance. All right, so here's the 6 categories. You got the owner, you got the GM, you got the head coach, you got the quarterback, you've got the offensive line, you got a pass rush. To me, those things are paramount. Now, you can be really good with 5 or even really good with 4, depending upon what the 4 are. But when you look at both of these teams, I mean, does either team have more than 1? You know, you think about the ownership. And the Giants have been a wayward mess for a long time, and Woody hasn't done a damn thing. So Woody is awful, and the Giants ownership has just disintegrated into whatever. Nope, not a check in that column, either team. How about a general manager? Well, I mean, if the Giants bring back Joe Shane, they are absolutely nuts. They're not. All right, so that's an X in that category. This is probably the thing that's best about the Jets here. I think Moochie does have a chance to be outstanding, but it's early. And until you actually find a quarterback, I can't go bonkers on that. All right, but at least that's a possible check. Head coach, I have no idea about Aaron Glenn. Obviously, the Giants are looking for a new head coach. The Jets, no quarterback. X, you know I love Dart. That's a big check. The O-line, I think that's fairly favorable for the Jets. Giants been better, but not good enough. And the pass rush, the Jets absolutely not existent. And the Giants is okay. Should be a whole hell of a lot better given the money and the resources they devoted for that. So, I mean, you look up and down the roster. It doesn't matter if you lose a tight game. Wow, they almost beat the Commanders. Who cares? Almost beat the Commanders. Big damn deal. Even the Jets, right? When you had that ridiculous penalty on Isaiah Williams, he is a stud. Can you get him the ball? Can you throw him the ball? Can you put him in the slot? Can you design some plays for him? But even when, like, the Jets were trying to fight back and claw back, I mean, there is just nothing to root for. Nothing. It is utterly depressing. I can't wait for this football season to be over. Now, this is something that I'm a little jarred by this because I thought that I felt really one way, and I still kind of do. But I want to throw something out there about Fernando Mendoza, all right? Because when you think about, Tankathon and where the Jets are and where the Giants are, depending upon what happens with the Raiders game and, the Saints game for the Jets, that's pretty much it. There is a really good chance that the Jets will have a chance to trade up with the Giants to get that quarterback. Now, the conversation, and at first I was like, oof, that is not a name that I want to hear, right? And the name that I heard, I was talking about Mendoza with somebody who knows the quarterback position very well, somebody I respect, and they dropped the term Kirk Cousins-esque. And I'm like, Kirk Cousins-esque? I mean, there's no way I'm moving mountains for Kirk Cousins. Now, I don't know that I fully share that opinion on Mendoza because I just think he's a little different. I think he's that similar moxie. He's bigger, he's stronger, and he's got a better arm. I know he's a better athlete, not by a wide margin. I'm talking about young Cousins. But even something that I thought was fairly easy to read, like what are the Jets going to do at the quarterback spot? I don't really know. I don't know because the one thing that they can't do, right? There's a couple of things that can happen. Like the Jets cannot move up 2 spots, 3 spots, 1 spot with a boatload of prime draft capital and make a move for a quarterback that they like. Like if you're moving draft mountains, you better love. And they very well might been those. They might wind up loving him. I know they like him now, but there's still much more of the process to go. So that's something that worries me about that. And then the other thing, when you look at the Giants, like just certain things that can't happen, under no circumstance can you run it back with Joe Shane. I mean, we have yelled about this. We have talked civilly about this. I mean, how many times you have to exhaust this topic? There is nothing else to say. Like sometimes you got to look around the room. You got to realize it didn't work out. And you've got to put on the big boy pants and move on. That's it. And I think they're going to. But if they don't, man, oh man, it's... This, I'm not really surprised by the Jets season. Like, I thought they'd be a little bit better, because I thought Justin Fields would be a little bit better, But it is surprising the way the Giants have just melted here, isn't it? Like, you think about when they beat the Chargers, like, they had a couple of galvanizing wins where we're sitting there saying, okay, you obviously found your quarterback, okay, head coach, this is Dable, little adjustment here, maybe off life support. And look at where they are. They've got fewer wins than the Jets. It is just awful. And then, that's what stinks. You contrast this with the rest of the NFL, right? And you parachute around the other big games. Bills, Pats, Broncos, Packers, Rams, Lions. You watch real football. And it makes you miss it more. It aggravates you more. It reinforces more just how much a disaster both of these franchises are. And the very blunt analysis is that there's no quick fixes. It's not the NBA where you make a trade for a star or you draft Tim Duncan or Ewing and your fortunes are reversed. It just doesn't go that way. So we are in for a bit of a slog here, and I think you guys know that. And I just, I'm sitting there watching yesterday, both teams, and whether it's the owner, whether it's the GM, whether it's the head coach, the quarterback of the Jets instance, the O-line, more on the Giants, and the pass rush, more on the Jets, there are just too many non-negotiable components that really will not enable either team to get going anytime soon. I'm sorry. It's just utterly depressing, but that's the reality of it. 888-808-1019. BT on the Fan. Let's get to the calls. Charlie, Bethpage. Charlie, what's happening, buddy? How are you?
Good morning, BT. I'm telling you, very depressing. The kid Cook, there was some bright things there, but that ain't our future. We got to do something with the quarterback position. The only thing the kid Cook had going for himself yesterday was his fiance in the stands.
Yeah. Yep. He's in good hands.
God.
Yep.
Yeah, well, very good hands. But, my God, can Woody Johnson do the right thing and put his mother and father and the fiance together? Can the three of them sit together down the road, down the side? Oh,
I noticed that.
Can't even get that right.
But Charlie, what I hear you, and I know you're not wrong. She had to run 30 feet to go give her future mother-in-law a hug.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yeah,
but how about his parents? A lot of us coach our kids, and can you imagine sitting in the stands watching your son throw his first NFL pass, undrafted free agent, first overall pick? It almost doesn't matter. Although when you're undrafted, it's probably even more stunning and more amazing. What a moment. I love that stuff. That was pretty cool.
Great moment. And then even better was Mitchell running to get the ball. There was not much to watch in the game. The Mitchell episode of the parents and the fiance might have been the best part of the whole game. Yeah. And that's pretty pathetic. That's really pathetic, BT. This is what we got to watch for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
and,
I know.
The kid Mendoza, listen, the kid is as goofy as can be. I don't know if I like that.
What do you mean?
The kid is a player.
Well, how is he goofy?
He's just
goofy?
No, he's
Ain't not goofy?
His post-game shows, I'm just saying. The way he talks, I don't care. I don't care if it's Mickey Mouse throwing the ball or Goofy. As long as he can spin the ball and play the quarterback position, and I watched him a lot this year.
Yep.
What that Indiana team has done, I'm impressed. And I see a good run. I can't wait to the college playoffs because I'm trying to evaluate this guy. I'm trying to be Mel Kiper here and try to get a good read on this kid. You know what I'm saying?
Understood.
And I think he's got it.
Yep. No, I'm excited too, Charlie, and thank you for the call. Yeah. That's a word that I haven't heard attached to Fernando Mendoza, goofy. And I know you just threw it out there, whatever. But, the one thing about him is that he's going to talk a lot about religion. So what? That's a bad thing? That's a deeply grounded young man. And that's the kind of kid you want. He's stable. I can promise you Mendoza's not going to be pinch going 107 with a revolver in the glove compartment. Can promise you that. I could also probably now, I don't know if he's good enough to be the savior, but in terms of the other stuff, because some people love it and some people use it as fuel against them. I just don't understand that. I can promise you that he's not going to be about himself more than he is about the team. He's not going to be a me guy. I highly doubt, if he's with the Jets or wherever he goes, when he goes out there and a wide receiver drops a pass or runs the wrong route, I can promise you that he's going to shoulder the burden. He's going to put the thumb to his chest. He's not going to point fingers. I think he's an amazingly well-grounded young man. So that, to me, character, he might be the highest character person in the entire draft. I just got to make sure he can play at the level required, obviously, to elevate the Jets if they make the move to get him. If they're even in a position to do it, because if the Raiders have the first pick, the Raiders are going to take him. 888-808-1019. Let me get Justin Floral Park, the Fan. Justin, what's happening, man? How you doing today?
BT, how are you, brother?
Good.
Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow at Conasecca.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it.
They're making a huge mistake. I hope, whatever your future is, man, I'll be following you on the Instagram with you doing your stuff with the kids.
Appreciate that,
Just like
buddy.
me coaching my kids. Wish you all the best, brother.
Thanks,
How
man.
about my Buffalo Bills with that signature win, man? I mean,
Oof.
21-0 down. It looked terrible.
Yeah.
BT, I dream the impossible dream. Will this team get to a Super Bowl this year? I mean, there's no Mahomes,
Yeah, I know.
no Lamar, and no Burrow. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
BT, why not?
Well, no. Listen, I love the Bills, Justin. Yeah, why not? I mean, why not? If there's ever time to do it, you might want to mess around and do it this year because I don't want to say time's ticking on somebody like Josh Allen, but we've seen this, guys. There's a real reason and there's real truth to being able to make a run when a quarterback's still under his first contract because that allows you to build out the rest of the roster. The problem is once you start getting into that second contract, which Josh Allen so clearly is and deserved, well, now a lot of the resources that allowed you to build out a terrific team around them, you got to start slicing here, slicing there. And I don't mean you slice your star left tackle or your wide receiver one or your stud tight end, but, hey, that nickel corner that did a pretty good job, maybe somebody overpays. Or that second or third safety that you kind of trusted, well, maybe somebody gives him a little bit more money than you can. Or offensive line depth, whatever it might be. That's what happens. So when you hear about teams talking about the striking when it's hot and the window is there, I don't really know what the Buffalo Bills window is moving forward. I would look at the Patriots and say, well, even though, Drake made some mistakes yesterday, the Patriots are going to be here they could be here for a decade between their coach and their quarterback. The Ravens, all right, good win, whatever, forget about them. The Jaguars are an interesting team. They're beating some bad teams, but they're red hot. The Texans are tough. Let me put it this way. In terms of specific to his question, why can't the Bills get to the Super Bowl this year? Well, they can. That's the short answer, right? Can the Broncos beat them? They could. Can the Jaguars beat them? They could. Can the Texans beat them? They could. Could the Patriots beat them in a rematch? They could. So while I'm not going to sit here and say they couldn't get there, I love them. And I'd love to see, it's crazy because they're in the Jets division, but I would love to see Josh Allen become a Super Bowl champion. I really would. I love the guy. I love the way he plays. I love what he's about. And really, sure, I wish the Bills were in a different division, but I've got great love for the Bills fans because in a lot of ways they're like us, only they're, 400 miles north and, a little bit of a different way of celebrating tailgates, jumping off RVs and into tables and lighting them on fire. But they are frustrated and they're all in. Before this little renaissance here, they were us. They were the Jets. So I think they're very relatable. And, Allen, he's got a chance to be an old-timer. He's got to pop through. 888-808-1019. Of course, by the way, inside of our Town Fair Tire studio. I got to do all these reads now that I haven't been doing there, Dove. How about I just give Hoff a lot of reads? I don't think doing a lot of reads this week, unless I'm getting paid for it. Our friends at Town Fair remind you that you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name-brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Andrew's in Eastchester. Andrew, what's going on?
Hey, BT, how are you, brother?
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing all right. We're roughly the same age. We're both MAC alums. I had a cup of coffee with the Siena football team. It's pretty, I don't think in my lifetime, our lifetime, that the Jets and the Giants at the same time have been this bad. We're having hypotheticals about them making trades for the number one overall pick. As a lifelong New Yorker, as a football fan, it's pretty jarring to see.
Yeah. Tell me about it, man. It is as depressing as it gets. Really, I was sitting there yesterday thinking about this, and quite literally, so this might strike me or might apply a little differently for me than for you. And that's just the reality of what we do, unless you're a sportscaster that I don't know. Like, watching football is part of my job. But watching these teams, it actually feels like a job. Like, one of the best things about doing what I've done is that, there's work, and as evidenced by what's happened the last week, there's real pressure and there's real consequences, all those things that we've talked about. But it's fun and it's amazing and it's something I always wanted to do. But I'm sitting there, especially the Jets yesterday, like, I didn't even want to watch the game. It's awful.
Depressing.
It really is, man. And from the Jets, at least the Giants have Dart, Andrew. Thanks for the call. At least the Giants have a quarterback. Now, is he going to stay healthy? Who's going to coach him? There's a million variables with Jackson Dart, but, I mean, the Jets can't even stumble upon a quarterback. The Giants got theirs, and they didn't stumble upon it. They proactively pursued him. And that's going to be a parting gift from Dable, who was the lead voice there, and eventually from Joe Shane, because, say what you will about Joe Shane not really being fully aligned with Dable pertaining to the move to get Dart. He's the general manager. He could have said, you know what, I get it, but I'm not feeling it the way you are. I can't do this. He did. He acquiesced. So it's funny because Gettleman, who was getting harpooned all those years, he left you a couple of good gifts, some really good Andrew Thomas, obviously Saquon, and some other things that he did fairly well. And this regime, which is about to be, I believe, a fully new regime very soon, they too have given you some pretty good parting gifts, but yet they just can't build it together. It's absolutely insane. 888-808-1019. It's Brandon Tierney on the Fan. We'll get back to, obviously, the call's just getting going. I've got some baseball stuff for you here until 2. Evan Atiki at that point. But we'll come back. We'll get the football calls. Football primarily first hour. Want to get into Polanco. Way too quiet on the Yankees. But now you're hearing about maybe Michael King, which to me is odd. I mean, Yanks, how about you get a stick? Unless it's like Michael King and a position player. If this pivot is to pitching and no players, well, then I really, it would be utterly confounding. So we'll get to baseball as well a little bit later. BT on the Fan.
The home of the NFL on Westwood One is WFAN.
Up the middle and into the end zone.
The Steelers meet up with the Dolphins in Pittsburgh. 8:15 tonight. Monday Night Football is on the Fan. 101.9 FM and always available on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio apps.
The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all of your favorite NFL bets. From yards to touchdowns to who will win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right. You get in on all the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/Boomer to bet on the game. That's FanDuel.com/Boomer to get in on all the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. Now, we all love the app around here. It is safe and secure. When you win, you get paid instantly. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. FanDuel Sportsbook is also the official partner of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
I'm New Jersey Attorney General Matt Plotkin. Every year, too many lives are lost in alcohol or drug-related crashes. These are preventable tragedies, and it's time to take a stand. Let's make New Jersey's roads safer for everyone. We are all counting on you.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So don't just hang your own lights. Venture out and look for the northern lights. Drink cocoa on the beach. Or be a drive-by karaoke caroler. Because every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So you can take holidays to places they've never been. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires.
See Kia dealer for warranty details. Event ends 1/2/26.
Sunday no longer a fun day? We've got specialists for that. Walking the dog, unleash, knee pain? We've got specialists for that. With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
Embrace the spirit of the season during the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration and make dreams come true at Mercedes-Benz of Edison. With over 500 vehicles to choose from, you'll find the perfect holiday gift for the one you love. Celebrate the season in true luxury at Mercedes-Benz of Edison.
The all-new Giants mobile app presented by DraftKings is your home for highlights, breaking news, exclusive features, and inside access to the New York Giants. Watch Big Blue Kickoff live every weekday afternoon at 12:30, plus every press conference, locker room interview, and podcast. If you're coming to the game, check out the Pocket Game Day Hub in the Giants app for live camera angles, interactive games, mobile food ordering, and more. Download the Giants official mobile app presented by DraftKings for free at the App Store and Google Play.
My name is Maria. Okay, I lied. It's Mary. But I'm feeling more European after my European-style holiday on MSC Cruises. The restaurants, nightlife and shops in La Galleria. And of course, American touches, like a sports bar and water slides. Bellissimo. Okay, this is a problem.
Book now and cruise from $199 plus up to $250 onboard credit and kids sail free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
This winter, celebrate the joy of the season in a new all-electric SUV from Cadillac. Make every drive exciting with the innovative technology and optic. Arrive confidently with the sophisticated styling of Lyric and discover the comfort of this spacious three-row Mystic. Experience EV luxury like never before at the season's best sales event. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, The Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
No, we got to keep this cranked up. Whenever this song comes on, God, I love this song. This is a great one right here. Come on now. This is MJ in his prime. Woo! All right, BT on The Fan. 1028. One of the best videos, too. That was just awesome. Dove, have you ever seen this video? Because you used to watch TV back then, right?
I'm watching it now as I'm playing it.
What's that now?
I'm watching it now as I'm playing it.
Are you really? Oh, you got this from YouTube? There you go. That's great stuff. 888-808-1019 on this Monday. Brandon Tierney on The Fan. Back to these calls here in a second. Hey, our wonderful football teams. Lucky us. Well, at least the Mets are loading up, and they're giving you something to really, 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 truly look forward to. Not. Well, at least the Yankees are incredibly aggressive, and they're loading up, and they're crushing free agency so far. I don't think so. All right, so before I get back to the calls, one thing that I want to say about Brady Cook, obviously, he's a young kid. It's a great story. You know that, I'm a sucker for this stuff, undrafted. Kind of like that, almost like that. I don't want to say a Hoosiers mentality. That's ridiculous, but more like a Rocky mentality. I love the underdogs. I could probably relate to it more than I could relate to the other stuff. So anytime somebody that kind of really overcomes the odds, I love. You got me. I mean, you got a fan for life. So I'm obviously hoping that Brady Cook could be somewhat viable moving forward. To what extent, I don't know. I'd like to see Garrett Wilson get out there for a game or two, and then, see with Wilson and Mitchell and Michi and Breece Hall and a pretty good old line, get Mason Taylor back, who was inactive yesterday, who I love as a young tight end. But I'm not going to sit here and say, well, I think that Brady Cook is going to be this. I have no idea. Here's what I see. He's got a pretty good arm. He's got moxie. I think he's a pretty good leader. I wish he was a little bit bigger. He's got a little wiggle. He can move a little bit. And obviously makes some just bad bad decisions, which is to be expected as an undrafted rookie on a team that stinks. So all the Mendoza stuff and maybe trading with the Giants and, well, is Dante Moore coming out? What about Ty Simpson? Let me boil it down to three very different quarterback possibilities next year for the Jets. Now, the first option would be they draft the top quarterback, whether they have to trade up to get him or, let's say they don't get first and the Raiders do and the Raiders take Mendoza, but somebody else comes out, Dante Moore, Ty Simpson, whatever, and they love one of those players and they draft a quarterback early top 10 or even, top 5 or so, right? That's obviously one route. And then if you do that, you would make sure to have a veteran there. And I think at that point, Tyrod Taylor, if he wants to come back and play again, would fit the bill because he's a reliable vet and he's smart and he's a great teammate. And that's generally what you want with somebody that you're getting ready to hand the franchise off to. And then under that scenario, I could see Brady Cook coming back as QB3, or if they don't carry 3 too often, keep him on the practice squad, whatever. That's one situation. Now, the other situation, and I think that this is very, very possible, depending upon where they draft. You punt on, this is something we've talked about before. You punt on the quarterback for year one, and you attack it in 2027 with 3 first-round picks and a quarterback crop that's supposed to be pretty good. So you punt on the quarterback, and you get a stopgap for this year, all right? Kind of like Justin Fields was supposed to be, only maybe they can actually get somebody, I don't know, who can throw. That would be good. And then at that point, if you're punting on the quarterback and you've got a stopgap, well, then you want somebody like Tyrod Taylor to be your number 2 just because he's reliable. And again, maybe Brady Cook is quarterback 3, QB3, or practice squad. Now, the other thing, and I think this is on the table as well, I think this pipe dream about Joe Burrow getting traded to the Jets, and I know that he sounds miserable, and I know that he's starting to play miserably. Wow, that was a rough one yesterday. I still don't think he's coming here. I think Evan spent some time on that, on whatever, Wednesday, whatever it was. Not happening. And if it does, it'll be amazing, but it's not happening. But there still could be another aggressive trade for a quarterback that we don't yet know is available. So if you make that aggressive trade, and if it wouldn't be for stopgap, it would be for somebody who's actually really good, and you would still need a veteran backup, and then you can still have Cook on the roster somewhere, QB3, whatever. I think that there's 3 radically different ways to go about this, and I just wanted to say that about Cook because I think I've seen enough at least in a very, when I say enough, I mean somebody who I'm interested in developing, another year in the offseason, get him in a weight room, get him some more reps, whatever, see if he can't be quarterback 3 for a little bit. But you're either going to draft somebody early on, aggressively through trade or wherever you wind up. You're going to either punt on the quarterback or there's going to be an aggressive trade or like that stopgap. So I think while there's a couple of options, I don't know what they'll do yet, but it's going to be one of those, I can promise you. Let me get Jake in. Okay.
What's going on, BT?
Jake, do me a favor. Jake, hold on one sec. Let's put him on hold. All right, the Jets just fired Steve Wilks. All right, I certainly don't want to celebrate somebody's firing, but it's the right move. I mean, they don't even want to tackle this team. My God. Now, I will say that the Jets, they have absolutely nobody on defense. Their pass rush is invisible, and they're just playing too many guys out of position. You can't win that way, especially against Trevor Lawrence and, an offense that's been humming. But there's just too many times. The last 2 games, there you go. It's like, man, the Jaguars, the Dolphins. Now, let's be honest with you. We don't need to waste a lot of time on Wilks here, but this is a little bit of a hit on Aaron Glenn. So I do think that Aaron Glenn could grow into a very good coach. But let's look at and thanks for that, Hop. Think about the decisions that he's made. All right? Of course, you've got to run it through the GM, and, there's checkpoints here. But he had the latitude to hire his own DC, and he hired somebody who was awful. And really, that move was criticized basically as soon as it went down. So that's an X in the column for Aaron Glenn. The quarterback decision. Now, I've always believed that it was more Woody who kicked Aaron Rodgers out of the building because of what happened. Some of the things Aaron said about his son, whatever, a little power play, which, by the way, I guess I get to an extent. I mean, it's a little petty, but it's Woody's team, and he can do whatever he wants. But then I believe that it was Aaron Glenn who co-signed strongly, along with Muji, that they thought that Justin Fields could get the job done. Justin Fields pretty much stunk this year. So let me get this straight. The defensive coordinator that you brought in, awful job. QB1 that you brought in, awful. Lost his job, hurt, he'll be cut. And there'll be about $22 million worth of dead money attached to the Jets salary cap next year. Those are two decisions that are on, somewhat prominently at the top of Aaron Glenn's resume. That's a problem. That's a little bit of an issue. Nothing that you can't work around. Nothing that a good offseason, some good draft picks, maybe even a win or two down the stretch. Not that I want that at this point, given what the Jets are trying to do with the draft here. But, when you're a defensive coach and you're brought in here, and the Jets had some remnants of like they had at least a few good defenders, Now, they traded two of them, to be fair. Some injuries as well. But when you're a defensive coach and you just get waxed, destroyed. I mean, they weren't even competitive the last couple games. You don't get a pass. If in my evaluation of Aaron Glenn, you don't. Now, you also do get a chance to, all right, I made the wrong move. Now let me hire somebody else. But there's only so many times that you can kick this downstream. Same thing with Dable and his defensive coordinators. Hey, Wink was terrific. Now we have a power play. Now we got a little friction. All right, Wink, you got to go. All right, bring in the new guy. He's not doing a good job. All right, get rid of him. Well, you know what? You got to go, the head coach. Like, it can't always be somebody else. Sometimes thumbs got to hit chest. And I hope that Glenn learns from this. But I give the Jets credit. Like, that was so embarrassingly inept. So without any sort of want or desire to have somebody, and again, trust me, if there's anybody sensitive to this now, it's certainly me, but to continue to employ somebody whose defense didn't even look like they wanted to tackle is the wrong message, big picture. All right, so he's out. 888-808-1019. It is BT here on the Family. Get back to Jake in New Jersey. What's going on, Jake? How are you?
BT, how are you, my man?
I'm good. What's happening, man?
So, man, I'm young. I'm 23 years old, and for my entire life, I can remember the Jets just being so poor, putting out poor players on the field, poor coaching staff. My family's had season tickets for as long as I can remember, and I go to suffer at these games every single week.
Yep.
I just want to know when this is going to end. I saw this tweet yesterday. Now, I don't know how true it was. It said this is the 14th consecutive season the Jets started an undrafted player at the quarterback position. Now, that could be totally
is that
false,
true?
But the fact that we have to sit there and think if it's true or false is unreal.
That's the thing.
I'm just getting so tired of this franchise, and it's getting so hard to support them. It truly is.
Well, Jake, you know the options, my man, and you sound resilient. Your parents have been battle-tested. They pass it on to you. Lucky you. You got two choices. You either quit rolling, you keep rolling with the Jets here, or you quit. That's it. And I know you're not going to quit. Because
I'm not a quitter.
Exactly.
I'm not a quitter there, BT. I'll always be with the squad to the end. That's all.
Exactly. You just want to talk through it, do a little therapy. That's why we're here, Jake. Thank you for the call. My God. I mean, 23 years old. He's a pup. Come on. He's not even out of the kennel yet, man. He's not even out of the nest yet. And the scars run down. How do you think I feel? And it's funny, too, because nobody carries the scars like Beningo. But even I think that's been hijacked. At least Joe saw a Super Bowl. What have I seen? I've seen Ugats. What have we seen? Nothing. There is no way. And, Jake, that's an interesting stat. He said that the Jets have started an undrafted quarterback at various points in each of the last 14 seasons. No way is that. That can't be true. There's no way that's true. There's no way. I mean, there's been a couple, but I think his ultimate point as well, the fact that you have to think about that to make sure that it's not, and who knows? I don't know, maybe it is true. I mean, all these quarterbacks just blend into one blurry mess of slop, Maybe he's right. Maybe that is a true stat. But the real point is that we got to kind of go through chronologically. Well, I don't know, 15 years, we had this guy here, maybe. Tells you all you need to know. 888-808-1019. It's PT on the Fan. Brandon Tierney here. We get back to these calls. So, Steve Wilkes out as the DC. And a dilemma. Obviously, got to get the G-Men fans involved here. I mean, I understand that things have changed in the world. I mean, but good God, I'm going to take a word that we used to use a lot on this show. Would you please sack up? Oh, sit down, Jackson Dart, so he doesn't get hurt. I mean, if you subscribe to that, you are pathetic. And I'll tell you why coming up next on The Fan.
It's Boomer and Gio, mornings on The Fan, 101.9 FM.
And talking to anybody who's ever played at a high level, including you, one of the biggest indicators of getting your ass whipped is those rushing yards.
That's exactly right.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. In anticipation of tonight's game, the Dolphins flew to Pittsburgh to hold their final practice Saturday night in the snow. It's hard to believe that Kansas City is eliminated while Miami still remains alive, albeit by a thread. Nevertheless, even without TJ Watt, the Steelers' defense should manage to control Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins' offense. I do like the Steelers 27-17. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. B21.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
So, your small business is outgrowing your garage. You could go online, find a space, and get catfished. Or you could work with an agent who's a realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Hey, it's Tiki Barber. Now's the time to score quality, affordable health insurance through Get Covered New Jersey. Every plan includes free preventive care prescriptions, emergency services, and more. And 8 in 10 people get financial help. Visit getcovered.nj.gov.
Quality is very important here at the North Pole. You see, I checked my list once, twice, all done.
Well, Santa, quality's important to us at Nissan, too. We actually test every model thousands of times. There's the frame twist test, shaker test, corrosion test, drive load test, tug-of-war test, towing test, off-roading test, practical strength test, splash test, corrugated road test, chassis dynamics test, water intrusion test, extreme heat test, extreme cold test, rough road test, jump test, curb impact test. And physical parts tests.
Save on J.D. Power's #1 mainstream brand and new vehicle quality at the Nissan year-end event. Get 0% APR on the 2026 Nissan Rogue, 2025 Murano or Pathfinder for well-qualified buyers. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary, subject to NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 1/5/26.
Operating engineers Local 825 are the men and women who make our region move. So whether it's roads, bridges, or our favorite team stadium, they build and maintain the critical transportation, water, and energy infrastructure we rely on. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the signatory contractors and the hardworking men and women who build both New York and New Jersey.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
This is John Gallucci Jr., President and CEO of JAG Physical Therapy. 'Tis the gift-giving season, and you should remember to give a gift to yourself, the gift of health. As you know, driving long distances to see family members, trying to lift up the Christmas tree, decorate the house, you can get some pain and stiffness. But it doesn't have to be this way. JAG Physical Therapy is there to help whenever you need us. From our family to yours, we wish you a very happy holiday season, and we look look forward to getting you back to life you love in 2026.
Town Fair Tire honors any valid rebates, manufacturers or competitors' rebates. Yes, even any competitors' rebates. And we give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire. Another app for inventory, one for CRM. Oh, don't forget accounting. Wait, which login was that?
Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated system that does it all without the hassle. Ditch the app overload. Get everything your business needs on one platform. Try Odoo free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ETHOS.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Football season is here, and just like winning teams, your engagement should be all about the best. So if you're ready to pop the big question this season, why not visit the experts at London Jewelers? With top-notch professionals and cutting-edge technology, London Jewelers can help you select or even design the absolute perfect ring. So whether you're starting over or starting new, let the professionals at London Jewelers be a part of your journey. Visit any one of their convenient 6 locations across New York and New Jersey. London Jewelers, serving you and your family since 1926.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Yeah, all right. What's going on, everybody? Monday morning on The Fans. Brandon Tierney with you. 888-808-1019. I'll tell you, in typical Jet fashion, then I want to get something on Jackson Dart. We'll get back to the calls. Baseball hour 2. A little Knicks as well. I'm actually oddly into the NBA Cup. I mean, how could you not be at this point with the Knicks playing for that championship in it? I put quotes around the word championship, but I used to mock it. I was into it the other night. I was. But I'm sitting there and I'm watching this Colts-Seattle game because that's the life of a Jet fan. You're not watching the Jets try to finish a drive with 37 seconds left to win some riveting game to further bolster their playoff seeding. No. If you're a Jets fan, you sit there, you basically watch your team give up 50 points, the opposing quarterback throw 5 touchdowns, run for 1, your defense check out of tackles, the next day your defensive coordinator get fired. And oh yeah, by the way, the only joy that you think that you can get is by jumping into a game that if what's supposed to happen happens, will help you with the draft slot with the Colts, obviously. And then, of course, you put on the game. And I'm monitoring this throughout the day. I'm like, Seattle's going to stomp them. It's up there. Phillip Rivers. And by the way, so much respect. I don't know how he did it. I know he threw a pick at the end, but that big third down conversion that put them ahead with the 60-yard field goal. And I wasn't watching the game because I didn't think I'd have to early. Eventually, I tuned into it. But I'm like, well, all right, what's the score? 20-zip Seattle? I'm like, no, Seattle's not even winning. All right, well, they're going to pull away now. No, they're not pulling away. And then I'm like, they're going to lose this freaking game. They're going to lose the game to 45-year-old Phillip Rivers, who was coaching high school football 4 days before. All right, despite being 13.5-point favorites, whatever the massive spread was. And not only that, but what appears to be a loss was excruciating fashion, where the Colts hit a 60-yarder. Not like it's 37, at this point, a 45-yarder's a gimme. All right, unless it's blocked or it's a horrendous snap. All these kickers are going to bang those through. No, 60 yards, and it would have been good from 70. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. They're going to lose. And they didn't lose. So what does that mean for the Jets and what their first-round pick this year could be? Well, all right. Now, they've lost 4 straight, the Colts have. The worst record Indy can finish with is 8-9. Now, they just lost to Seattle. Got to play San Francisco. Got to play the Jaguars. Got to play Houston. They're not winning a game. They're not going to win another game. And I've been telling you about this for a while. I've been actually on this, if you look at my social media, going back, I think 4 weeks ago, really starting to lock in. Because at one point, I think it was the 28th pick when the Colts were off to a 7-2 or 8-2 start. I think it would have been, it was 8-2 actually. So anyway, I don't think they win again, and they're going to finish 8-9. So at 8-9, their winning percentage will be .470, which, based on all the other current winning percentages, is projected to land them in the 15th slot. All right, right behind Kansas City and right in front of either Tampa, Dallas, something like that. Now, there are 3, 6, and 7 teams that essentially puts those teams on a pace for an 8-9 record as well, which would tie the Colts for the 12th pick. So there is some serious upward mobility here. This is not going to happen. Again, likely, if you ask me today, where will the Jets be picking there? I would say 15. But and I'm not going to go through the scenarios because there's too many, but if everything went exactly, literally in the Jets' favor, it could actually go as high as 9. There's no chance that's going to happen. All right, there's not. But it's going to be a good pick. And if it's the Giants, because the Raiders wouldn't trade the first pick, well, if it's 15 versus 27, obviously easier to cut a deal. All right, 888-808-1019. By the way, WFAN Football Talk powered by Verizon. Get to your local Verizon store today. I'll get to the Jackson Dart Point in a minute. Let's get, how about Mario's on Long Beach? He's on the fan. Mario, what's happening?
What's going on?
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good, man. What's going on?
Good. So I like your. I like. By the way, I'm going to miss you guys with the card things with the baseball. Very, very impressive, and I thought it was a very good take. You know,
appreciate
where
that.
You guys
Thanks.
pull the baseball cards out.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's
no
a
doubt.
nice thing, mate. So just talk about the Jets for a minute, and then if I have another second about Dart. Now the Jets. I like the scenarios you came up with, and I might defer. And, if they want too much to trade up to get Mendoza, because I think with another year of maturity, Arch Manning might be better. And he's going to be available next year, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
they're going to have, like you said, the 3 number ones. And now listen to me, BT. What they could do is they got 2 1s and 2 2s this year. Mm-hmm. They can get a stud receiver.
Yep.
They can get a stud defensive lineman. They can fill out the roster. So this way, when Arch comes or whoever comes next year, they have a better roster.
Yeah.
Rather than depleting your draft this year to get Mendoza.
Mario, I think that absolutely a very possible route there. Like as much as God, can we please have a quarterback that's fun watching, that's good? Please, one of these years, please, I'm begging you, can we please get this? But I am not. There's no Andrew Luck's or Peyton's here, or even Matthew Stafford. Like, if they like him and don't love him, then you just punt and you don't do it. And you get a receiver, you get another linebacker, you get a little bit of a pass rush or a safety. Like, they got a lot of work to do, man.
Yeah. But the offensive line, like you said earlier, I heard people saying that they think it's going to be a top 5. But you know what the average age of the offensive line is? They got 3 number 1 picks, a number 2 pick, 24.
Well, yeah, that's right. You know what? Membu does bring. Yeah, you're right. Membu brings it down, and then Myers got.
And the year before was a number 1 pick too. He's still young.
No, I know. Olu Fashanu from Penn State. He's young on the left side. Membu, who played with Brady Cook in college, on the right side. Myers, who they like. Got a nice little. That's how you build a team. Now it's only 2 years, $11 million in NFL money. That's it's nothing exorbitant, but it shows you they've got a belief that Myers fits in well, and he does because he grades out well. And they like Tippmann. Once they got Tippmann out of center and they moved him out and they put Myers there, so. Maybe they're one offensive lineman away from being dominant, and maybe you bring back AVT on a kick the tires. Well, I'm not even going to get too much into the weeds on that now, but maybe a 1-year kick the tire deal, whatever they're going to do, they'll figure it out. But at least this time, unlike with Zach and Darnold, the Jets don't have to build the one component of their team that has been so atrocious for so long, and that's the offensive line. Let me get Dan up in Saratoga. Danny, on the fan, what's up? What's up? Danny, how are you?
Good, BT. I want to just say one thing I've known about you. You know how long I've been following you. You guys always talked about sports for 4 hours, which is how it was always supposed to be. And I'll follow you wherever you go, pal.
I appreciate that. It is a sports station, right? So we talk sports.
I wish a couple of your
no, that's what we did. No, stop, Danny, stop. I can't have that. But I appreciate what you're saying about us.
I ain't going to use a name. Don't worry about it.
Well, I got you. I hear you.
All right. Second, as far as I'm concerned, I hope they get Mac Jones I hope he plays just. Yeah, he's going to be open at the end of the year on Frisco.
You
They
want
can't
Mac
keep them
Jones?
both. I'll take Mac Jones only for one big reason.
Go ahead.
I want to keep all the draft picks. I want to build something that resembles a team. And we've had so much bad quarterback play.
Yeah.
Just decent quarterback play will be a monstrous improvement.
Well, I don't disagree with that, but where does Mac Jones get your big picture? You're never going to win anything big with Mac Jones. What are you doing? What are you going to win what?
Well, if you get a very good team around him, I thought he played really good ball while Purdy was hurt this year.
He did. And Purdy came back and played poorly, and there were a lot of there were some talks. I'm not from the coach, and thanks for the call, Dan, about maybe you kind of sit Purdy because he looked very shaky when he came back. Played very well yesterday. I think he had 3 touchdowns, no picks. Either way, yeah, I mean, Mac Jones would fit into one of those equations that I gave you before. You know, if you punt on the quarterback this year, you get a stopgap. And then obviously maybe you go with somebody like Tyrod Taylor as the backup, and then maybe Brady Cook as the 3. But I don't know. What, you're going to bring him in for a year? I don't know. And then if you win, say if you go 9-8, I'm just throwing something out there. Well, then you're not in a great position to take the quarterback. I know you have 3 for the next year. I know you've got 3 first-round picks the next year, but. They've got a lot to figure out. 888-808-1019, BT on the Fan. So, all right, coming up, that was a fast hour. Coming up, hour number 2. Jackson Dart, why the Giants are nuts. And really, why I don't think the Giants are even considering this. I think why you're nuts to want to sit him down. This is pro football. What? So I want to get into that and also the baseball. We'll start weaving in some baseball, hour 2. BT on the Fan.
Regular season battles in football. Off-season moves in baseball. The Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Jets all live here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Guys, thanks for helping me carry my Christmas tree.
Zoe, this thing weighs a ton.
Drewski, lift with your legs, man.
Santa! Did you get my letter?
He's talking to you, Bridges.
I'm not that.
Of course he did. Right, Santa?
You know, my elf Drewski here, he handles the nice list.
An elf? I'm 6'3". What everyone wants is iPhone 17. And at T-Mobile, you can get it on them. That center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. Right, Mrs. Claus?
I'm Mrs. Claus's much younger sister. And at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch. So you can keep your old phone.
Or give it as a gift.
And the best part, you can make the switch to T-Mobile from your phone in just 15 minutes.
Guys, my side of the tree is slipping.
Timber!
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Switch in just 15 minutes and get iPhone 17 on us with no trade-in needed.
With 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement 256 gigs, $830. Eligible port in a new line. $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Warm up your winter at DreamWorks Water Park inside American Dream. Over 40 rides, record-breaking slides, and the all-new Gabby's Dollhouse splash pad for the littlest swimmers. Just minutes from Manhattan. Tickets start at $59. Book now at AmericanDream.com.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
If you're injured in an accident, the Rothenberg Law Firm is on your side. A legendary team that has won billions over 5 decades. The Rothenberg Law Firm. 1-800-624-8888 or injurylawyer.com.
This winter, move and be moved in the Mazda CX-5, the smart choice for those who expect more. With standard I-Active all-wheel drive and advanced safety features, the CX-5 delivers confidence and control in every condition. Inside, you'll find a redefined high-quality interior designed for comfort and connection, because there's more to a Mazda. Celebrate the season during the More to Move You winter sales event. Lease the Mazda CX-5 for $229 a month and make every drive feel like a gift. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
Life's rewarding, especially with Flushing Bank's Complete Cash Rewards program. Just open a personal or business complete checking account to get started. With 29 New York Metro locations, there's nothing easier or more rewarding. Visit FlushingBank.com today. Member FDIC.
Get breaking sports news here. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
We're brought to you by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. We heard from Aaron Glenn a short time ago as he lets go of defensive coordinator Steve Wilkes. This coming after the Jets gave up a whopping 48 points in a blowout loss to the Jaguars. Glenn, on how and why he did this?
The decision that I made late last night, and I talked to him this morning. And I felt like it was the best decision for the organization at this time. And I've said this all along, that I'm evaluating players, I'm evaluating coaches, I'm evaluating myself. And I just felt like this was the best decision for right now for the team and for this organization.
And asked what the deciding factor was?
I just thought that, from last week going to this week, that the improvement wasn't there. And I thought it was time to make a change.
Glenn says defensive backs coach Chris Harris will take over with assistance from Glenn in terms of calling the defense. The Giants, meantime, are 2-12 with their loss to the Commanders. They have lost 8 straight games. You had the Vikings beat the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football 34-26. Tonight, Monday Night Football wraps up the week in the league with the Steelers taking on the Dolphins on the Fan at 8 p.m. The Nets beat the Bucks 127-82. NHL tonight, the Rangers play the Ducks as they welcome in Chris Kreider. This report brought to you by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire, and by Bet365. When it comes to sportsbooks, Bet365 has it all. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be located in New York. Current temperature brought to you by Audi Manhattan, where luxury meets excellence. At Audi Manhattan, experience best-in-class service in the heart of New York. Visit the Audi flagship store today. Conveniently located on 55th and 11th. Audi Manhattan, where luxury meets excellence. It is 26 in Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Dusted off all the old ones there, little Blondie. What's going on, everybody? 11:02 on The Fan. Brandon Tierney with you. 888-808-1019. This part of the show brought to you by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. And I'll get into some Jackson Dart. Really just one issue, whether or not you should sit him the rest of the way, which I just find laughable, but I'll expand on that in a minute. So I usually love shoveling, right? I love shoveling. I find it oddly therapeutic. I really do. Now, like there's certain times where it's a little bit more arduous than others. Like sometimes you got to make decisions. Like if it starts snowing, say at like 3 p.m, you might have to do double shifts, and that becomes a pain in the ass. Like, because if you just let it go and it's like 10 or 11 inches between the plow, throwing it in the sidewalk, and now it's wet and it's heavy, like you're almost better served to go out there, knock off one shift, and then throw some salt on the ground, and then maybe you get 4, 5, 6 more inches, 6, 7, and then you then you do it again, right? But Saturday into Sunday was different because it came down basically Saturday night where I am in New Jersey. So when I woke up, and I wasn't fully prepared for it. We've had a lot of things on my plate, if you guys haven't noticed, last week or two. So I didn't even have the salt, right? And when the kids were little, I'd make it almost more. Well, maybe that's why it was so therapeutic. I would go out there, pour myself a little scotch, play the music from Alexa, and start pounding away, start shoveling. But again, I was caught off guard yesterday, didn't have the salt, so I went out. My son was sick. Otherwise, at age 10, you're going to get your butt out there. You're going to start doing it now, buddy. But I did it for him yesterday because he truly was sick under the weather. So anyway, I didn't have the salt. I go to the store, right? Now, I don't know about you, but there were 2 things that we did when we were growing up. Two things that would not fly today, and two things that make you, listen, if you did it, you know, but if you didn't do this, you're like, oh my God, you did that back then? Yeah, we did it. And I told you, I remember saying this to Sal, he's like, we didn't do that. I mean, that's one of the differences, Brooklyn versus Long Island. We would call it skitching, right? And we would see a UPS truck come down the street. We would hide behind the mailbox or hide behind a car. And then we would jump on the back, right? And we would ride the UPS truck down the street. And it had to be the right snow, like a little bit of icy. You know, you needed the right conditions. Otherwise, you couldn't do it. And, of course, my mom, and there weren't, not a lot of the moms in my neighborhood grew up worried. My mom still worries. Like, she still worries. She is an Italian worrier, and I love her to death, and she is the best. But she worried about everything. And I remember, like, she saw me doing it one time, and she's like, you know, God forbid you do that. You're going to slide under the truck. You could get brain damage. I'm like, wow. I'm like, that just took it to a level. Now I'm scared. So I didn't really do it with the vigor that I once did. So that was one thing that we did. That's probably stupid. I don't advise anybody doing that at all. The other thing that we did, and this ties into me going to get salt so I could shovel and finish the job yesterday at my home. I'm going to get the salt, and I'm at a stop sign. And, I mean, it's kind of a rite of passage to just, you know, pelt cars and buses with snowballs, right? I mean, that's what you do. Now, there's certain, like, you know, unwritten rules of these snowball streets, if you will. Don't throw ice, you know, don't do that because, God forbid, that could be a real serious crack a windshield, cause an accident. But come on, when you're growing up in the 80s, or I guess even in the early 90s, I mean, somebody like that, that's the fun. And the anticipation was that like you couldn't wait. You have like 10 made and, you know, you're hanging out with athletes. Everybody's got a good arm. We would just go bonkers, just banging cars left and right. And the buses were the best because the buses would get mad. And the hope was really, and this is going to sound nuts for some of you, but again, it is what it is, and it was what it was. The hope was that you would see the tail light, you see red, which means they stop, which means they're calculating whether or not they should get out of the car and chase you down. Now, not many people either had the athleticism or the want or the will to actually do it, but there were a few nutballs who did. And when they would, like, we'd run through alleys, like sometimes they would really, really, truly chase us. And that was the best part. So now I lead into this. As I'm going to get the salt yesterday, I'm at a stop sign. I'm going really slow. And there's a group of they look to be a little bit older than my kids. So I'm going to say about 11 maybe. And they were pelting each other with snowballs. Right? I'm like, I love it. Love it. Forget the iPads. Get out there, mix it up. And as I'm driving away, I'm looking through my rearview mirror, just kind of peeking, and a big part of me, pretty much all of me, is hoping that they start throwing snowballs at me. Nothing. They smiled. They were good kids. They went about their way. They went back to their own snowball fight, but nothing. Not a single snowball coming at my car. And if that doesn't tell you how much things have changed, I don't know what will. Now, the sad thing is I understand, you know, when we were doing it back then, sure, somebody might come out and chase you. And if they got their hands on you, you know, then maybe they could do something crazy. But now you just never know what somebody has in their car. And I guess it's probably not worth the risk for today's youth. So I guess that chapter is shut. But I'm like, man, that was the window they hit it and hit me. And they didn't do it. A little disappointed. 888-808-1019. Brandon Tierney on the Fan. Got you till 2. Back to the calls in a moment. How in the world do some of you not want Jackson Dart to play the rest of the season? I don't get it. There's certain things that I just simply cannot relate to. I'm sorry. Now, if he's out there with like cracked ribs and the Giants, you know, officially eliminated, which they obviously are, I mean, that's one thing. He is healthy right now. You're a pro athlete. When you're healthy and you're a pro athlete, especially when you're a rookie, you play. Now, the best part is he wants to play. There's no doubt. Like, and I don't even really think the Giants are considering it. I'm talking more to those of you who think that he should sit the rest of the way. The mindset is, I just can't relate to that. I don't understand that under any circumstance. 6-7 year vet, you know, a quarterback you don't believe in, a young kid you want to kick the tires on, get a look at. All right, maybe you sit down the veteran, take the football away from him, and then, you play somebody just to get some intel. Like I would even say myself, pertaining to the Jets, and I was touching on this before, forget about Justin Fields, but like Tyrod Taylor, if he's fully ready, I'm not playing him the rest. I already know who he is. I know what he does. I know that he's, emotionally reliable. He's a slightly above average quarterback. He's a great teammate. He's a good leader, and he gets hurt every year. There's nothing more that I'm going to learn about Tyrod Taylor. But I'd like to get a little more tape on Brady Cook, especially with Garrett Wilson opposite Mitchell. But this notion of he's a rookie. You play. Now, the Blue Tent, and I thought his press conference was very interesting yesterday. He's like, I don't know why they did this. Now, there's the independent spotter, and that's their job. I get it. But it's almost like he's telling everybody, guys, stop worrying about me, man. I'm a football player. And that's an attitude that I love. It's an attitude that I think could make him not a good player. I think Jackson Dart could be a great player. I've told you that for a long time. There's not a throw he can't make. There's not an athletic trait he doesn't have. You just got to make sure he stays healthy. But I got news for everybody. It's the NFL. Think about how innocuous Parsons' injury was. Non-contact. Think about how I even thought that Mahomes' injury was fairly innocuous. His knee buckled. Boom. I initially thought it was a hyperextension. No, if you are healthy, you play. Period. I can't accept the counter to that. I'm sorry. Lawrence is in Oklahoma City. Back to the calls here. Lawrence, what's happening?
Hey, man, that Giants game yesterday was magical for me. I was very happy they lost. I want to give a shout-out to Darius Slayton for dropping the ball in the end zone. He's a savvy vet for that move.
So you want to lose. I get it. I get it. I get it.
You gotta.
Yeah, I guess that's where we're at.
I want the team to be better for Jackson in the future. All those first-round picks we can get, it's worth it.
That's true. When you look, Lawrence, when you look at it like that, you're absolutely right. Now, if the Giants finish second, that's a little different, but there is great value, my God, for the Giants to finish first here. There really is. Now, Hoff, do you think, I don't know if they look at it this way, but boy, it would be fire for the station and all the fan bases. Hoff, do you think that the Giants would be reluctant to deal with the Jets just because of the same city? Even if you fleece the Jets and you get whatever you get, but Mendoza, if he were to turn into a superstar, do you think that factors into what they're thinking on any level at all?
I think that depending on who the regime is, maybe that's a little bit, but I think if it works out for them, they don't. I think the Giants will be open to it. I think that they have to, because if they're not going to draft a quarterback, they may go ahead and give up that collateral to go get more picks.
Yeah, I'm of the same mindset. Like, I get it. It might hurt for a little bit. It might be weird. It might, down the road, you might lose the PR battle here. But I have a very simple philosophy. If there's something that I can do that's going to enhance the prospects of my team and enhance the talent on my team and the direction to help fortify that direction of my team, I'm making the trade. I don't really care who it's with. I get it. You prefer to have somebody in a different conference with zero rivalry, whether it's geographical or a real rivalry. All right, Yanks, Mets, unconventional. But if there was a trade that the Yankees could make with the Mets, even though it could make the Mets better, and I'd have to hear, Met fans chirping, if I believe, just myself, that is going to make the Yanks better, that's all I care about. Same Yanks, Red Sox, that Eagles and Dallas made the trade a couple of years ago, draft trade, I just, you've got to protect your house. And I think the other stuff is noise and just distraction and really pettiness. If the Giants can hold the Jets to the fire and fleece them for whatever the heck it's going to be, you do it. And because, now, if you don't have your quarterback, maybe you swallow a little harder and maybe you're not able to make that trade there, but you got your quarterback. Honestly, Mendoza might be terrific. Dante Moore, Simpson, these guys might be terrific. I got a hard time. Now, I also think they're very different quarterbacks. Certainly Mendoza is different skill set than Dart. But I think no matter what the Jets do at the draft position either in 26 or 27 if they punt next year. I don't know how either any of those players they bring in to play quarterback is going to be more talented than Jackson Dart. That's how highly I think of Jackson Dart. It's how good I think he's going to be. It's how good I think he is, as long as the Giants don't wreck him. Let me get Kyle in Ringwood. BT's on the Fan. Kyle, what's going on?
What's going on, BT? How are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. What's happening?
Look, I wish you the best endeavors for you and your family moving forward. You're great on the Fan. Really appreciate listening to you as a Jets fan. I got a few notes here for you.
Okay. By the way, thanks for that. I appreciate that. Go ahead.
You got it. Of course. Let's talk about, losing draft picks to trade up for Mendoza, right? I don't think that's the correct spot to do, especially if we're going to be running an offense where we'll have a rookie sitting on the bench. I think we keep our draft picks. We look at Diego Pavia. He might be sitting there at 16, 15, whatever it may be.
Yep.
This guy's a winner, and I see a lot of, new age Baker Mayfield in him, right?
He's got a little chip, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Boy,
exactly.
Yeah.
Right? So
although I got to tell you, Kyle, hold on, Kyle. I'll let you finish. Yeah, I'm all about, having a little attitude and like in a good way, a little moxie, confidence like that. That fuels athletes. I thought that, and I know that he kind of apologized for it. Classless. I think it was totally classless what he did at the Heisman. Give me a break. Get over yourself, buddy. Come on.
Absolutely. No, and I agree with that, but that also shows that moxie on the field. I mean, he brought Vanderbilt to what it is today for how many years, right? So
no, I know. I get it. Yep.
What if there was a possibility, we trade for Joe Milton? This guy's been dying to get on the field. This guy has an arm like no other. We have an offensive line. We keep our top picks.
Yep.
Right? So we can draft a top wide receiver at number 5 where we stand. Another, maybe a linebacker or Diego Pavia at 18, and then we still have 2 more picks in the second round. And then you got your quarterback crew. You got Joe Milton, you got Diego Pavia, and you got Tyrod and Brady Cook. And you see where you go from there.
Listen, they're not horrible. Actually, maybe a little bit better than that. I don't know. That's a lot of names, and Taylor and Cook and Pavia and this guy, Milton. I mean, the Giants remember we were talking about the Giants getting Milton last year before they wound up getting Jackson Dart. I mean, that was actually, I remember hearing that a lot. We didn't really get too deeply into it, me and Sal, because we didn't think it was going to happen. But I mean, that was a conversation point for a lot of shows on the station. The one thing too, not that this really is an ultimate barometer of success, but in the case of the kid from Vandy, and obviously Mendoza at Indiana, don't you think it's a little more impressive? And there's other components, I get that. Coaching, defense. Indiana's defense is ridiculous. But when you take a non-traditional power and you elevate them to a height that they, let's face it, have no business being in or at, doesn't that mean a little more to you? It does to me. Because think about everything you got to overcome. And, that's not to marginalize somebody doing it at Ohio State or, when LSU gets humming again or Notre Dame or Michigan. And, I mean, Michigan, geez. But, not this version of Michigan, but you know what I mean. Or USC back in the day. Like, it's easier for certain places. They just got better players. When you're in Indiana and you're number 1 in the country, and you're the quarterback of that team, and you just beat the Bucs. Now, I know he didn't have a great game against Ohio State, but he beat them. And, he, same with Vanderbilt's ascent this year. It is pretty special because you're carrying I was going to say inferior players. That's almost unfair. But you don't have 35-star players on the roster. You don't have a $30 to $40 million NIL budget, if not more. You just don't. 888-808-1019. Pete, Jersey City on the Fan. What's going on, Pete?
Hey, what's up? Thanks for taking the call, and good luck with everything, man.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome. So I just want to say really quick, you were talking about shoveling before. I want to talk about the Jets, but it's definitely not the same with the snowballs. It's not even a mischief night anymore, man. So these kids, they don't know they don't know what the hell's going on, you know?
Well, that's a general. Hold on, Pete.
Disappointing.
Well, hold on, Pete. That's also a very general statement. While I was hoping those 4 or 5 boys would bang the car with snowballs. They didn't, but at least they were throwing it at each other. It's not like they were sitting on their couch with their iPad.
Yeah, that's something at least. But you don't see the touch football on the streets anymore. It's disappointing.
You don't.
So listen, really quick about the Jets. If they love Mendoza, I get it, then go for him. But if you watch it for a year after year, you go back to the Rex years. What did they have? They had a great offensive line.
Yep.
Mangold, that guy from the Steelers they grabbed.
Faneca.
They had 2 great running backs. They had like a number 1 Faneca. That's right. Yep. They had a 1 or 2 defense, and they had a really good special teams. So you build that, man. Like every year, you can't go through these rebuilds every 2-3 years, man. Build the core, build the lines, build the defense, and then you grab a QB. Because if you have that, and then you add a guy like Sam Darnold or someone on that level, then you're in business, man. But you can't keep drafting QBs and don't give them any weapons and then blame them and ship them off, and then it starts again every 2. Then you get a new coach. Something's got to change, man. You know?
Yeah, that would be nice. That's the objective, Pete. And listen, I think something already has changed in the respect, at least pertaining to the Jets. I think they've got a good GM. I think they finally have a modern GM. Joe Douglas was fairly modern. Moody strikes me as even more modern. I think he just understands the way the league works. There's an aggressiveness. You think about some of these younger GMs, and this is common thought. But, I don't know if all of you think about it this way, and you probably should. More and more of the GMs, no matter what sport it is, they are younger. And when you're a younger general manager, you're a byproduct of the video games. And I played them too, but not to the extent that some, in terms of being able to have maybe more of an ownership on building teams and making trades. Of course I played Madden, but I don't know. I just think it was different. It was different. So a lot of these young minds are shaped by almost like a volatility in team building. And, they're wired very differently. So a willingness to do something very, very bold, even in-season trades in the NFL, more common. You've seen different baseball philosophies for sure. And I think that the Jets have one. I really think that they nailed Muji. Put it this way. I'm more, I won't use the word positive. I'm more of the belief that they got it right with Muji than with Glenn. And I'm not saying they got it wrong with Glenn. I think they really nailed it with Muji. 888-808-1019. It's BT here on The Fan. We'll get back to the calls. All right, so, the Mets obviously have a lot more to do. I want to react to the Polanco stuff here and something over the weekend, reconnecting the Yankees to King. I want to throw a little hot stove on the table. Next on The Fan.
It may be the offseason for the Bombers and Amazons, but there's no offseason for Yankees and Mets talk. Get the latest here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all of your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdowns to who will win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right. You get in on all the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/Boomer to bet on the game. That's FanDuel.com/Boomer to get in on all the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. Now, we all love the app around here. It is safe and secure. When you win, you get paid instantly. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. FanDuel Sportsbook is also the official partner of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Now's the time to enroll in quality, affordable health insurance through Get Covered New Jersey. All plans provide free preventive care, coverage for prescriptions, emergency services, and more. Plus, 8 in 10 get financial help. Enroll by December 31st for January 1st coverage at getcovered.nj.gov.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Find excellence in every detail in a new Volvo from Volvo Cars Ramsey. Now find excellent offers with your first lease payment waived during the Holiday Safe Lease Sales event. Lease a new 2026 Volvo XC60 B5 Core all-wheel drive $454 per month for 36 months at Volvo Cars Ramsey, where it's all about you. Call 833-853-2975 for lease details. MSRP $52,545. Then 1286218. Loaner vehicle 4,814 miles, $3,800 down payment, tax title registration fees extra, 0 security deposit. Ends 1/2/26.
Talk New York sports on the Fan.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Imagine being a million miles away. Tremfya Guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit Tremfya.com.
Cars for Kids reminds you time is running out to donate your car for 2025. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS now to secure your 2025 tax deduction and vacation voucher. That's CARS with a K.
Ready for a smarter way to heat your home and save on energy costs? Go with Petro. Upgrade to a new energy-efficient heating system with the latest technology to help you save now and for years to come. With easy financing, $0 down, and low monthly payments, better comfort and savings are all within reach. And trust your local HVAC pros at Petro for expert installation and best-in-class service. Don't miss this deal for a new heating system. Go to petro.com now or call 1-888-PETRO-02 today. That's 1-888-PETRO-02.
It's two of the best in men's college basketball. NCAA tournament finalist Houston faces perennial power Arkansas in the 8th edition of the Never Forget Tribute Classic, Saturday, December 20th at Prudential Center. Tickets are on sale now. The Cougars and the Razorbacks bring big-time basketball to the Garden State with dynamic recruiting classes and legendary coaches. It's Houston versus Arkansas in the Never Forget Tribute Classic. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
This winter is shaping up to be a harsh, snowy season. So take control of the roads with a new set of Bridgestone Blizzak tires from Town Fair Tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, Town Fair gives you the most free services with your purchase of Bridgestone Blizzak tires. For the guaranteed best deal on Bridgestone Blizzak tires with the most free services for life, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
All right, 11:28 back on the Fan. Brandon Tierney with you. 888-808-1019 is the number. Back to these football calls. Steve Wilkes is out as the DC of the Jets. That's the second little dent here on Aaron Glenn's first year. He hired him. He hand-selected him. He didn't do a good job. He's gone. Okay. You know, I know that Woody was involved in the Rodgers stuff as well, but Glenn and Muji identified Justin Fields, somebody they wanted to run it out with this year. Justin Fields couldn't throw the ball straight, and he got hurt, and it's been a complete failure, a flop. It's a second little dent on Aaron Glenn's resume here, just to point that out. All right, so we'll get back to the football stuff. Obviously, Jackson Dart as well. Play him if he's healthy. You know, talk about the possibility of a Jets-Giants monstrosity of a trade, though I don't think the Giants will wind up with the first overall pick. I don't. I think they'll probably be number 2, but we'll get back to that in a second here. So the The offseason here for both of these teams, for the Jets and the Giants, for the Jets and the Giants, for the Yankees and the Mets, it's very interesting. Like, it's not necessarily confounding because I understand what both teams are doing. But, and whether you like it or not, I think it's pretty easy to identify what they're doing. I mean, the Mets core was not good enough. The Mets core has been blown up. It wouldn't stun me if Lindor is dealt, so that's what the Mets are doing. And the Yankees right now are basically just hoping the price doesn't go up too much on Bellinger. If it does, they got to tap out. And I don't think they'll do anything of serious consequence. I don't think they'll get Tucker. And I think they'll just try to win with pitching and give some of these young kids a look, which... I'm okay with to an extent, but I would not be satisfied with that kind of an offseason. I just wouldn't be, and neither should you be. So, look at this. I'm going to incorporate both of these teams here. Usually, one thing we try to do is really separate like the Yankee talk from the Met talk outside of those situations where, like with Soto a year ago, where they just, blurred into one another. Because it's almost unfair to the fan base where we're talking about one thing and you just pull the other one in. We want to focus, but I do think it's worth doing it here. All right. So, think about how few positions for both of these teams are solidified going into next year. Really, it's actually scary when you think about it. So the Yankees obviously judge the man right field awesome. I do think they're going to trade Jazz, but Jazz, at least statistically, is a terrific second baseman. I'm just not giving him a big contract, and I don't think they will either. I was told they weren't, so we'll see. Outside of that, all right, you want to sell me on Trent Grisham? I didn't even want him back on the qualifying offer. I would not have offered it to him. Screw the draft pick. I don't think he's going to hit lefties. I don't think he's just not the kind of player that I want to build around. Yeah, he's going to run into some fastballs, hit some home runs, but Trent Grisham does not excite me. So I can't even put him on that list there. So I look at right field, I look at second base. And even with second base, there's a bit of an asterisk there. Who's playing first? What about short? What about third? Austin Wells, we need a righty hitting catcher as well. What's going on in left field? Issues, or at least concerns and questions. Now, the big difference for the Yankees versus the Mets is that the Yankees rotation has a chance to be phenomenal. I remember saying to Sal, I don't know if this was like a week or two ago, now, there's a few things that need to transpire, like Garrett Cole's got to come back and still be 90% of Garrett Cole. Schlittler's trajectory has to be continued. It can't be, all right, he was dominant, and now the league figured him out, made adjustments, and he didn't make the adjustments as well, which I don't think is going to happen. I think Schlittler and McClain are both two shooting stars in the New York baseball universe. I think they're both studs. I think they're both real. So I'm not really worried about Schlittler, but you still want to see it. Max Fried, stud. If there could very well be a situation where Carlos Rodon is like your fourth starter. Really, that is a real possibility. Now they could also trade him. Talk about that, and I don't really want to do that because outside of the Toronto game and in the playoffs there, he gave the Yankees a very good season. So the Yankees' rotation's unbelievable. And I think it should be the best in baseball. But they're having conversations about Michael King. All right. If it's Bellinger and Michael King, because Michael King only made 15 starts last year, and you want to protect you want to make sure you get off to a good start in January. Garrett Cole's not ready. God forbid he has a setback. Maybe that bleeds into May. Rodon, he's going to miss April. God forbid there's a setback. Maybe that bleeds into May. That's fine. You want to go to 1 or 2 year deal, whatever it might be, or even 3 on King, go for it. But that can't be the only move. And even having said that, like the Yankees offense and the Yankees lineup and their starting 9, there's just not that many, not enough locks there. It's just not. Now the Mets. Where are the locks? Well, very similar to the Yankees, there's not enough of them. There's a lock in right field, and there's a lock-ish at shortstop. Lock-ish. I still think there's a chance they trade Lindor. And he did have some alarming, defensive regression last year. But I'm not going to say that that's who he's going to be moving forward, but enough to say it's fairly alarming. All right, so he's playing first base for the Mets. All right, a little Polanco, a little McNeil if he's here, or a little Viento. Either way, not. And I think Polanco's a fine pickup. He could hit lefties. I like him. He's got a presence. He's a big game player. He's got a little pop for sure. But he's not going to be everyday first baseman, even though the Mets think that they can kind of transform him into a really good first baseman. We'll see. Right now, there's no answer. Second base is fine. Third base, I like Beatty, but still got to see it. Catcher, stop selling me on Alvarez till he actually does something. Center field, don't know. Left field, don't know. Rotation, don't know. Like, there are just a million questions for the Mets, and there's a lot of questions for the Yankees. So I understand plotting through this and not being irrational and not just spending just to spend. Like, that doesn't really get you anywhere. But don't you, when I hear Michael King, like, for the Yankees, like, Michael King should be on the Mets. Like, to me, what the Mets should do is trade for Peralta. That's something we've talked about. Sign King. Keep a lot of your prospects so you can trade for Skubal when he's dealt. Or I mean, you can sign Skubal. You wouldn't want to trade for him because I don't think you want to give up all that. Well, I don't think they want to give up all that. All right? And if you get a Peralta and a King and a McLean, and a Minaya and a Senga, Howard Peterson, however you frame the back of the rotation, at least it's pretty good, But like, if things don't start happening here in the next 2 weeks, next 2.5, 3 weeks, I mean, the very real possibility of a very dark and very empty offseason for both the Yanks and the Mets is very much a possibility. Like, we were lucky. A lot of stories broke when we were on the air. So whether it's this week or whether it's when I'm out of this time slot, whatever, if a story breaks on the Fan, Bellinger signs with the Dodgers, or Bellinger signs with the Mets, or Bellinger signs with whomever, somebody other than the Yankees, what the hell are the Yankees going to do? Like, I'm dead serious. What are they going to do? They're not going for Tucker. And the more I think about this, I don't even really think that I want Tucker under the terms that I'm pretty sure, even though I think it's dropped a bit, it's going to take to get him here. So time's ticking, all right? Cashman's got his plan. Stearns has his plan. I think it's very clear, much more obvious what Stearns' plan is to dismantle a core that was never going to win a championship. I agree with that, but you still have a lot to do, and time's moving. It's really moving. Let me get Matt in New City on the Fan. What's going on, Matt?
What's up, BT? Just before I get to my point, I'm not even going to wish you luck because I know wherever you go, you're going to do a great job. I've been listening to you since I was a kid on the other station, so not that. Just I want to say about your show real quick. All the when you talk to people that are hardcore New York sports fans, they all listen to your show because you guys were a little bit of a throwback to the old Fan with a little bit of a new, way. But you guys talked sports the way real sports fans want to hear it. And anyone who you talk to that you could tell they know sports, they know baseball, they know football, they all listen to you guys. So that's a compliment.
And you know what? It's a great compliment, and it's one that I don't take lightly. Thank you very much, Matt. What's happening, buddy?
So with the Yankees, I don't know what they're waiting for. I know they're putting all their eggs in the Bellinger basket, but, the time is ticking that all these little ancillary players that you could get are coming off the board. Like, for example, I would have been okay if they got Naylor. That's the guy I wanted for first base. I would have got Naylor, maybe brought in Harrison Bader, and brought in a utility infielder and did it that way. You know what I mean? If you're going to be a team that's going to rely on really good pitching and defense, then you go that way. But they're putting all their eggs in the Bellinger basket. And like you said, if they don't get him, what's going to excite you? They're going to, who are they even going to sign? I was looking at the top 50 free agents. No one's really that exciting. And I don't want Tucker. He's way overvalued for what he does.
There's not many names left, Matt. There's not. I mean,
what do you feel? Can I ask you one question? For first base, are you comfortable with Ben Rice being your everyday first baseman? Wouldn't you rather sign Ryan O'Hearn if you could get him on a 2-year deal?
Yeah, I mean, that's something, Sam, and I went back and forth on the Ben Rice thing at first base. Matt, thanks for the call, and really thank you for the kind words, man. Thank you. Listen, I do think that Ben Rice can develop into a functional first baseman. What I saw last year was alarming. I mean, his pick rate, I don't even know what it was. I don't need his pick rate. I love the numbers, but I don't need to know what his pick rate was to know that he looked very uncomfortable trying to pick balls at first base. That's on Volpe, throwing him in the dirt. And, McMahon was always money across the diamond, but it's on Volpe. You got to hit him in the chest. But, there were some long hops. The in-between hop's a little tricky. Short hop, simple. Long hop, if you determine that it's a long hop early, is actually really easy as well. And so there were some hops that I thought were easy for a major league first baseman to get that he looked very uncomfortable with. But I also think that Ben Rice is going to be a 3-hitter or somewhere, within the first 5 slots for the Yankees for a while. I don't think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be really good. Like, I think we're going to look at, a little run here, Ben Rice, some OPSs in the, 850s, 860s, a lot of home runs. I think he'll learn. The strikeouts will go down. I think the on-base will go up. I just think he's a really pure hitter. I think he's got great aptitude and he's got juice. I mean, he hits the ball hard, really hard, and the numbers back that up. So that doesn't mean you just trot him out there if he's a disaster at first base, but I do think when you're a catcher, and I know that the Yankees actually think he's better defensively behind the plate, not than Wells. Wells is a good defensive catcher who strikes out a little bit too much as a hitter, but they think that Rice is passable behind the plate, and I would probably agree in small spurts. It's just my opinion. Like when you're passable behind the plate and you try to catch, dart and sliders and, boxing balls up that are coming at you 98 miles an hour in the dirt, how the hell could you knock pit balls at first base? I think you can, and I think that you will. Now, like the ball down the right field line, the pop-up, all right, he's probably never going to be very good at that. The 3-6-3 double play, we'll see. Long cutoffs, who knows? But I do think he'll at least be able to be adequate at first base. I do. Not everybody agrees. I do. 888-808-1019. BT here on The Fan. We'll get back to the calls. Odyssey Sports Minute Time brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. Make the right choice. Don't drink impaired.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. After nearly a decade of dominating their division and the AFC, everything finally collapsed for the Chiefs. Kansas City was officially eliminated from the playoffs with a loss to the Chargers, and Patrick Mahomes has a torn ACL. A team that once thrived in close games unraveled all season, and in the moment their preseason hopes officially died, even their superstar quarterback went down. I'm Maggie Gray.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Is your everyday congestion preventing you from enjoying life's big moments? Try Vicks Sinex Saline today and get yourself back in the action. Vicks Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion with a gentle ultrafine mist. Sinex Saline's drug-free, no-mess formula instantly moisturizes and soothes dry, irritated nasal passages for quick and effective relief. Get back to enjoying life's big moments to the fullest without having to worry about everyday congestion holding you back. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Sun and clouds, high around 29.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have an easy holiday at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, shipping supplies and services to get your packages there safely, even custom cards and wrapping paper. Staples. That was easy.
Ho, ho, ho. Quality is very important here at the North Pole. You see, I checked my list once, twice. All done.
Well, Santa, quality's important to us at Nissan, too. We actually test every model thousands of times. There's the frame twist test, shaker test, corrosion test, drive load test, tug-of-war test, towing test, off-roading test, practical strength test, splash test, corrugated road test, chassis dynamics test, water intrusion test, extreme heat test, extreme cold test, rough road test, jump test, curb impact test. And physical parts tests.
Save on J.D. Power's #1 mainstream brand in new vehicle quality at the Nissan year-end event. Get 0% APR on the 2026 Nissan Rogue, 2025 Murano or Pathfinder for well-qualified buyers. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary, subject to NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 1/5/26.
Some stages celebrate. This one tests everything. Every drive, every approach, every putt. Pressure builds. Resilience matters. And history waits for the bold. In June, the 2026 U.S. Open Championship returns to the Hamptons at the iconic Shinnecock Hills Golf Club. Experience the world's best golfers competing on one of the sport's most storied stages. Don't just watch greatness, experience it live. at the 126th U.S. Open. Daily tickets are available now on SeatGeek.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Fun is in the driver's seat at Nielsen Dodge. Get a great deal on the new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram you really want with 0 down payment available. Plus the credit help you need. Shop online at nielsendodge.com. Wrap up the year's sales event.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Nada que ver. Bring in a bill from AT&T or T-Mobile to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. ¿Y ahora? ¿Qué vas a hacer with all those unwanted bills? Pues, how about a full-scale origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Fuera de broma. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to your local Verizon store in New York City today and we'll give you a better deal for you and tu familia. Rankings based on RITmetrics root score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Requires postpaid consumer mobile bill from T-Mobile or AT&T dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
All right, back on The Fan, 11:46 on this Monday. It's Brandon Tierney with you. So, I told you last week about this awesome event that Sal and I have going on, and it's coming up. Tickets going on sale tomorrow. Certain things I can get into, certain things I can't, out of respect to the company legally here. So I'm trying to, make sure I do the right thing. But go to my account. It's all up there in terms of the details, where to get the tickets. I can tell you it's January 22nd. I can tell you that it's in New Jersey. I can tell you that Yankee manager Aaron Boone will join us. I can tell you that Sal and I are doing a live show. And it's going to be an absolute blast there. So there's not a ton of tickets. It's a fairly small venue by design. Wanted to keep it intimate. About 400 tickets or so. It's going to go quick, hopefully. So if you guys want to hang out with us, eat, drink, hang out with us and Boone and all sorts of different packages. If you want to get there a little bit early, you can get that and, meet Aaron and get a picture with him as well. So that is on all my social stuff. But I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're planning some fun things like a Sinatra impersonator. Could be a great time. It really just me and Sal doing what we did for you for 2 years here on The Fan. Just, picking a few topics, bouncing around, getting nuts, and think of us uncensored. All right, so that's coming up. And the tickets go on sale tomorrow. Cannot wait. All right, it's 11:48, as I said. A lot of Jets and Giants stuff out of the chute. Wilkes is out, fired as DC for the Jets. So that is not a good look for first-year head coach when you whiff on that and you whiff on the quarterback that you bring in. Yankees and the Mets, I have much more of an understanding what the Mets' off-season vision is. Now, that doesn't mean that the Mets are going to have a good season. I mean, the Mets, if they don't get going, the Mets might not be good at all. I know they've got more of a plan. But, right now, the Mets are a 70-something win team. I mean, they don't have much going for them. They got a lot of holes to fill. But at least I know what they're doing. They're stripping down with the with the vision, Stearns, of building back up bigger than it ever would have been with the core that just didn't win. Whereas with the Yankees, I'm like, well, I don't know. I know I love the pitching. Judge is the man. And that's kind of where the conversation ends. I mean, if they miss out on Bellinger, I think Yankee fans are going to go nuts. And I would too, but I also, there's got to be a limit on what we're going to get Bellinger, right? It can't be, first of all, the Yankees won't do this, but it can't be a situation like, say, the Dodgers or even the Mets, like, all right, you 6 years, whatever it is, a fairly pricey number. And then right away it gets to 7. And the Yankees hang around for 7, even though they might not want to. And then whomever the other team, maybe the Mets tap out or the Dodgers tap out, and the other team that stays in, they're like, hey, we'll go 8 years. There's no way I'm giving Bellinger 8 years. He's not worth it. He's just not. You got to have a little perspective here. Bellinger is a good baseball player, one that I want back for the Yankees. I really do. For all the reasons that he can play a million positions, makes contact, he fits like a glove, steady personality, a good Yankee. He's the kind of Yankee that the Yankees used to have when the Yankees used to win championships. That kind of guy. Plug him here, low maintenance, gets the job done. But you can't get out of whack for somebody like Bellinger, who's never going to be a superstar. He might not even be an all-star, in the next couple of years for the Yankees. So I think they're going to kind of walk that tightrope. But if somebody comes in with an 8-year deal, or I don't even know if the Yankees go to 7, honestly. I think they might say 6, and that's it. All right, let's get back to it. Mike's up in Stamford, Connecticut on the Fan. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, what's going on, BT? I just wanted to say, you're the man. They're messing you up, taking you off. I met you at the opening day. It's nothing but class.
Thank you, Mike.
But what I wanted to say was if they don't re-sign Bellinger, it is time to reevaluate the whole front office, the ownership, and everything. All right? It's more than Hal. It's more than Cashman. It's something going on with these analytics guys. I agree with your point about Rice, but until we move Stan, I have no idea what's going to happen. It's just all downhill from there. I just want to know why the Mets have a plan and the Yankees don't when we're supposed to be big brother.
But hold on, Mike.
Little brother.
No, Mike. Forget about that. And thank you for the call. And thank you for the kind word. Let's not get it twisted. Like, why do the Mets have a plan and why do the Yankees not? Well, because the Mets need a bigger plan. Because the Mets aren't as good as the Yankees. They're just not. Now, the Yankees aren't as good as I want them to be, and they're not as good as Toronto. That was evident. Toronto smacked them. They're nowhere near the Dodgers. But the reason why the Mets are doing all these big things is because they had to. Now, you could be of the mindset, and I respect it. I just completely disagree. Like, if they would have run it back, Nimmo, Pete, this and that, and Diaz, and, overpaid Diaz. Not if they would have gone, 3 or 69 or 66, which they offered. But, that would have been a very good deal. But if they would have overspent for him, give up the entire farm for Skubal, and maybe, Skubal comes here for 1 year and then he bounces, the Mets just need to do a lot. The Yankees don't. Now, the Yankees got to figure things out. They're also in a little bit of a state of transition because you talk about the Met prospects, the top Yankee prospect is just not ready. And that's Lombard. To me, it's not Dominguez. He's a major leaguer at this point. I don't think it's Spencer Jones because he's 25 and he's still in the minors, And it's not like he was in AAA all last year. He was in AA too. And I know he cranked 35 bombs. And I'm interested to see if it can translate. But he strikes out 2 times a game on the average, 2 against minor league pitching. So he's got a lot of holes to fix. But the Mets versus the Yankees had more. So I get what the Mets are doing. And I don't need the Yankees to be ridiculously active. But I got to see a little something here. And the other thing that I would disagree with our last caller, Mike, he said, if the Yankees don't retain Bellinger, then you got to wonder, what's going on? Well, not if he signs for 8 years somewhere. Honestly, I don't want Bellinger for 8 years. I'm not of the mindset, do whatever it takes and deal with it down the road. Isn't that kind of how the Yankees got to this point? Stanton, Hicks, DJ, all the names and all the tired conversations that we've had, about the Yankees and their reluctance to eat some dead contracts, some bad contracts, some dead money. You want to just keep dealing with this forever? I'd kind of like to end that cycle myself. All right, let me get John on Staten Island. What's up, John? How you doing today?
Hey, what's up, BT? I hate to see you guys go, but all the best, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
For sure. I have a scenario I want to present to you.
Hit it.
So if you're a Giants fan, right? I'm a longtime Giants fan, as you may know. And if they wound up with the number 1 pick, would it be malpractice not to explore the possibility of potentially bringing Archie Manning with a new GM and a new head coach into the fold, considering the fact that you have a new GM, he could pick his own quarterback and give him time to kind of like groom Archie until he's ready to play, build the team the way you want to build it, opposed to trying to remix whatever Shane had done and what Daboll had done, and then you move Dart in a potential trade, move Dart in a potential trade to try to replenish some of the picks that you might have been able to get if you traded the number 1 pick. What's your thoughts?
First of all, I don't know. I don't think Arch is coming out number 1, so I don't think that's very viable right there, Jai. I appreciate you thinking out of the box here, where maybe Dart is not absolutely the guy for the future. He would be my guy, but I'm open to other thought. The problem is, all due respect, is Arch Manning even that good? Every time I watched him, I was utterly unimpressed. Hop, have you seen him play at all? Arch, have you seen him play outside of highlights? Yeah, I mean, I've sat down and I've watched him, God, I would say at least, I know I watched him against Ohio State. He was awful. Then he had a couple of games, whatever, you're supposed to win. He played against Florida. Florida's not even that good, and he didn't play very well. I'm sorry, I wasn't very impressed. There were just too many games. I saw him against Arkansas, and I saw against A&M. And I feel like every time I was watching Arch Manning, it was like the third quarter, and the Longhorns had no points. I don't mean a literal zero, but like just a very low-scoring team. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you're supposed to be some transcendent superstar, forget about dominating the NFL. Could you dominate college? I don't know. I'm not saying that he's not going to be that player, but if his name wasn't Manning, I'm sorry. Nobody's talking about Arch Manning based on what he's put on film this year as a potential franchise changer. You're just not. When you throw 60%, he was like 61% completion, 61 in college. When that number is that low, that's not even good in the NFL. That stinks in the NFL. It's like where the Jet quarterbacks are. He's 61%. And by the way, some of the teams he played against, San Jose State, all right, UTEP, what is this acronym? Who the hell is this? HSA. I don't even know who this is. SH, who is it? Oh, Sam Houston. He played those 3 teams in a row. Listen, when you start with Ohio State, it's okay to get a couple of layups, after that. But San Jose State, UTEP, and Sam Houston. Stop. I'm not really interested in the Arch Manning hype. I promise you, I've watched him. I've watched him quite a bit. I don't see it. Doesn't mean that he can't do it next year. This year, not interested. He's not ready. He's not good enough. 888-808-1019. All right, no reads, right? I'm good there? All right, so here's where we're at. We're at the Jets, basically anything. I got a week to go. Whatever. Whatever sport you want to talk about. 888-808-1019. BT on the Fan. Back in a sec.
Who will stay? Who will go? Big questions loom for the Yankees and Mets this offseason. Get the latest here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So don't just hang your own lights. Venture out and look for the northern lights. Drink cocoa on the beach. Or be a drive-by karaoke caroler. Because every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So you can take holidays to places they've never been. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires.
See Kia dealer for warranty details. Event ends 1/2/26.
Football
Football season is here, and just like winning teams, your engagement should be all about the best. So if you're ready to pop the big question this season, why not visit the experts at London Jewelers? With top-notch professionals and cutting-edge technology, London Jewelers can help you select or even design the absolute perfect ring. So whether you're starting over or starting new, let the professionals at London Jewelers be a part of your journey. Visit any one of their convenient 6 locations across New York and New Jersey. London Jewelers, serving you and your family since 1926. Hey everyone, Boomer here. Cooper Electric is your premier electrical supply partner for master electricians or the do-it-yourself homeowner. From breakers and wiring to lighting, smart controls, EV chargers, smoke detectors, batteries, and generators, Cooper Electric has what you need to keep the season bright. Order online, pick up locally, or get delivery right to your door. Visit cooper-electric.com. That's cooper-electric.com. Happy holidays from my good friends at Cooper Electric. Cooper Electric, our knowledge is electric.
Hello, this is Joe Bellotti from Open Road Mazda of Morristown to offer you a holiday greeting straight from the heart. Please let these times bring us closer together. From our entire Open Road Mazda family to yours, may this holiday season bring you health, happiness, and peace.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
One choice can change everything. The New York City Department of Transportation reminds drivers to slow down and yield to pedestrians. You can't rewind a crash.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 12 o'clock. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. And by Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. Make your holidays memorable in a Lexus from Ray Cattina. The Lexus December to Remember sales events here. Drive home luxury in a GX or TX with class-leading storage. Celebrate the season in style at Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. 48 points and 6 touchdowns from Trevor Lawrence, apparently the last straw. The Jets dumping D coordinator Steve Wilks this morning with 3 games left in their season. Passing game coordinator Chris Harris is the interim replacement and will get help from Aaron Glenn. The head coach also defending his defenders who chose not to speak to the media yesterday.
Maybe they just wasn't up to talking at that time, but I'm sure you'll hear from those guys. So again, don't take it too hard on those guys. You'll hear from those guys. Those guys are grown men, and they're going to step up to the plate when it's time. I think yesterday was just a day that they were pretty pissed off at the way the defense played,
which probably didn't help Wilks' cause. On the other side of the ball, Glenn will not say anything definitive about his QB situation until Wednesday at the earliest. The Mets are reportedly signing outfielder Christian Pache to a minor league deal with a spring training invite. The former top prospect did not play in the majors this past season. And the New York Red Bulls have promoted Michael Bradley to head coach. The former national team star, a Princeton, New Jersey native, coached their reserve team this past season. Fan weather is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. It is 19 degrees in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
On the Fan, Brandon Tierney with you. We got 2 hours to go. Evan and Tiki coming up. Now, what did Tiki say? I got to find the exact. I can't find it now. I was laughing, right? And by the way, Tiki does a good job on the Giant postgame shows. Tiki gets after it, lets it rip a little bit there, But he said something yesterday. I didn't hear it, and so maybe it was out of context. Oh, okay. So here it is. Quote, it looks like a bad, poorly coached football team, and it frustrates the heck out of me because we know that that's not the case. End quote. No, it is. It is a bad, poorly coached football team, Teak. That's exactly what it is. What? They're not bad? They're not poorly coached? I'm sure he, backed it up with some different angles, but I don't need to back it up with anything. They bad and they poorly coached. All right, 888-808-1019. Yanks and Mets, Jets and Giants. Obviously, the offseason plans for both baseball teams a little different. One is a wrecking ball. One is moving along like a tortoise. And hopefully the Yankees start doing some stuff here. We shall see. Let me get back to the phones. Billy's in Brooklyn. Bill is on the fan. What's going on, Bill?
Hey, Brandon, what's up? How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm feeling great. What's going on?
Brandon, this casino, do you think that it has any interference with the Mets going ahead?
I don't. I think that's unfair.
You really?
I know you do, and I want to hear your thoughts.
Oh, I do.
Okay, tell me why.
Brandon, I'm 65 years old, and your father would probably agree with me on this.
Good.
He's breaking. He's breaking down all fan favorites. Nimmo, okay, I could see that, but Pete is a record breaker. The Mets will probably sign Pete in 5 years. You watch how good he's going to be, and I pray for him and everything. But this guy. It's all about money. The casino is going to. There's only one guy that. Trump had a casino in Atlantic City, sold, no corporation, and he went under. This guy's going to have. It's not going to cost millions. It's going to cost billions. If you've seen that park, you know what he's doing. And people ain't mentioning the casinos. You know how money is. Money is everything. I don't want to be mean or nothing, but money is. I know for a fact that money is more important than what he's doing with the Mets.
Well, I would challenge on you knowing that's a fact. I mean, that's a strong opinion. You could be right, but it's not a fact necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Billy, let me ask you this. Why don't you think he could do both? Why can't he rebuild the Mets and, and still build the casino?
I couldn't do it. You couldn't do it.
You don't have to. I probably couldn't do it either. I'm not Steve Cohen.
Yeah, but where's your interest coming from? The casino, that's going to make more money. He's going to end up selling the Mets. I probably won't be around in 2030.
Don't say that, man.
I'm being realistic. See, the world isn't realistic anymore.
Well, you're 65. You don't have are you, God forbid, ill?
Oh, I'm retired. I'm law enforcement. I'm retired.
Well, God bless
Maybe
you.
I'm looking at it.
I love that. You say you got 5 years to go. You're 65 years old. You might have 30 years to go. 20. Come on, Bill.
Yeah, do I want to live that long? Come on. I'm not trying to be funny or nothing.
No, I got you. Well, listen.
Brandon, I'm talking to you like a guy that would be talking to in a bar or something.
I appreciate that. That's what
I don't want to hide it because I don't want to get you in trouble. So I'm going to talk a little, but money walks.
I got you.
And you know that saying, living in where you live.
I know, listen,
I know where you live.
Yeah, you can live in the mountains. Money, everybody knows that saying. Thank you for the call. I mean, what is the ultimate? And he's not the first one to bring this up. What's the ultimate motivation of Steve Cohen? I think it's both. I think it's to add to his. Where is he at now? Is he at 14 billion, 15 billion, or 16? Whatever the billions are, wherever it is, approaching 20. I don't know why some of you, not many, but some of you don't think that he can do both simultaneously, where he just continues to enhance and add to his economic profile while also building the Mets into a sustainable winner and ultimately a championship team. I don't know what's so hard about that to understand. It's not. It doesn't always have to be some backroom bait and switch. Suckers, I got you. I lured you in and I retired Kuzman's number and I got rid of some of the Brooklyn Dodgers stuff that used to drive you guys nuts when the Wilpons opened Citi Field. Suckers. You see, you fell for it. I even brought back an Old Timers Day. Make you really think I care about the Mets? And Hoff, what else did he do? I mean, he did some other stuff that I'm forgetting. Hoff is not even looking at me. All right, so I know that you guys are still wounded from the Wilpons. I think his intentions are very different than the Wilpons. This was not some elaborate scheme to make you think that he actually really cares about the Mets. I mean, putting Kuzman's number up there, he didn't have to do it. And that was the first step of kind of repairing things. Like, all right, things that should have been done back in the day that were ignored too often or too long by former ownership. He corrected right away. He just did. He made the I don't know. He made City feel a little bit more inviting, a little bit warmer. He spent money. You know, he rebuilt the farm system by just flushing money down the chute with 2 aging pitchers. I don't know if he's going to build the champion. I have no idea. I don't know. But I'll tell you this, he's going to go further than the Wilpons did. That's for damn sure. And I think that when you're at a level that he's at, and you surround yourself with people that he is surrounding himself with to get Metropolitan Park off the ground, I think you could do both simultaneously. I really do. I don't think that that's fair to him. I don't. Now, if the Mets go into the offseason and, all right, so Nimmo's gone, Pete's gone, Polanco's the only thing that they do, and, like, they don't trade for a Peralta or sign a King or get a Valdez. But at this point, I don't think they should get Valdez. I don't think he's worth it at this point, really. I'd almost rather go lower on King. But if they don't do anything else, then I can see the skepticism. Like, man, the payroll went from, $390, whatever it was, to, $202. Nah, he's not. He's not doing that to you. He's just not. Let me get Cologne in Hawthorne, New Jersey. What's happening, Cologne?
Hey, BT. First of all, BT, thank you for your and Sal. I'm going to miss you guys, and good luck. And wherever you land, I'm going to follow you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
On the Giants, and the Jets. Listen, John Madden and the Giants took a lot of grief when Saquon went to the Eagles. All right?
Yep.
If the Giants get the number 1 pick and the Jets have the best offer, do they trade him? Because if the Jets get Mendoza and he becomes a franchise for the next 10 or 15 years, can they live with that?
Yeah. It's funny, I brought that up, Cologne. I am of the mindset that you do what's best for your team. And there's going to be some downstream repercussions, maybe some unhappy fans, whatever it might be. I don't think that you can operate that way. Now, would you prefer that the Giants get the first overall pick and maybe make a trade, I don't know, with the Browns, where maybe you play them once every 4 years, and the only time you're going to see the Browns in the championship, in the Super Bowl, and that will never happen. The Browns will never get there, let alone play the Giants if they did. So, yeah, I get it. There's other things that are a little bit more emotionally palatable where you can deal with it. But if the Jets are over-aggressive, Mendoza's the guy. Giants have the first pick. Jets give you the best offer. The Giants would be idiots not to take it. They really would be.
And the last thing on Phillip Rivers, when the Jets, Aaron Rodgers went down a couple of years ago, we begged our GM to go get Matt Ryan out of the booth. Yeah. I'm rooting for the coach of Phillip Rivers. I'm rooting for that, because at least they got hope that maybe they can make the playoffs.
Yeah, I know. It was interesting watching him play yesterday, boy. Thanks for the call. He's such a gamer. How do you not love Phillip Rivers? And just an interesting dude. I mean, first of all, imagine having 10 kids. Let's just start with that. 10. I mean, it's tough enough to get my 2 to go to bed. Did you brush your teeth? Did you put your clothes out for the morning? Is the homework done? Did you finish your food? Did you clean up? Did you do that? Did you that? 10. Now you probably sit there and say, well, he's got, I don't know, $190 gazillion in the bank, just hire people. And all right, so the house will be clean. The house is a mansion and you have no financial worries. But Phillip Rivers genuinely strikes me as the kind of person who's not motivated by money. He's like, he's giving himself to his kids. How do you have the emotional and bandwidth and then just the physical time to be involved with all your kids? I don't know how you do it. I mean, I can't tell you how many, like tonight, now it doesn't matter. Well, let me see. Hold on. Yeah. Now, it doesn't matter tomorrow because I've got the St. John's game anyway, right? So I'll be at Carnesecca. One of the few nights, I hate the conflicts, but got to work, especially now. And, I love doing the Johnnies, right? But Tuesday night, tomorrow night, St. John's has a game, so I'll be in Queens. My daughter has a practice for her basketball team, which I coach. And my son's got a travel basketball game, which I do not coach. So, but if I didn't have St. John's, obviously the decision would be, all right, game over practice. But that's just with 2 kids with the conflicts. Can you imagine their schedule? I'd have to imagine they all play ball to an extent. Now, they're not all 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, so the schedule will start to dissipate. You kind of focus on one sport. Or one, whether it's a musical instrument, whatever it might be, whatever they gravitate to, could be acting. I don't know. But, yikes. 10 kids. Oh, my God. Let me get Ron in Rockland County. What's going on, Ron?
Hey, BT, how are you? Listen, a couple of calls ago, okay, I had this gentleman, this former law enforcement person, was talking about the casino. Here's a take. And let's go to the situation with Alonzo and the repercussions. Okay, now, do you think that Soto, number one, is happy about his meal ticket being traded away, okay, and not being able to get what he wants, okay, in the record books, okay, with literally nobody behind him?
Mm-hmm.
And think about this. Now you got Cohen, okay, who paid this guy an exorbitant amount of money, right, without a fan base that's happy. Okay, doesn't he want that fan base to take a look at all the wonderful things he's doing, creating Disneyland across from the park? Doesn't he want them to leave a game and go play in the casino? What the heck was he thinking with allowing Stearns to trade Alonzo?
No, he didn't trade him.
Two of those different items.
But I know you know he didn't trade him though. He left free agency.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
I know. Listen, Ron. Honestly, that's how winners think. Now, I don't know if this is gonna go well. All right, it could go worse. It could be amazing. But people who are successful are okay dealing with the short-term blowback and negative repercussions for the greater good. And Cohen's successful, and he's a winner in life. So he's not playing the short game. He's playing the long game. And by the way, I agree. You know where I stood on Pete. Now, it was weird seeing him with the Orioles hat on in the press conference, and I feel badly for Met fans, especially the young Met fans. I do. I get it. I'm sentimental. You guys know that by now. But that he doesn't care. Like, he's just, hey, I'm going to do it this way. I think it's going to be better, and I'm good with it. And I don't think he cares.
BT, one last thought. Mm-hmm. Okay, you know the business with Lindor and Soto, right? You know, the one thing I noticed right at the beginning of the season, you know, fresh off the Oh My God deal, okay, that everybody was together. Everybody, I never saw Soto with anybody. Okay, pictures, nothing, no congratulatory anything for most of the season. Yeah. Okay, I never saw him in the dugout. I didn't know where the hell he was when all that was going on.
Well, Ron.
And I think that Lindor is completely different.
Finish up. No, finish up. My bad. Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is, so you can see that, you know, the guys like Alonzo and Lindor and Nimmo, okay, and now two of them are not gone. I wonder what's going on here.
Well, I think what they're doing is, and I'll tell you, you wonder what's going on. Thanks for the call. What's going on is the Mets are moving on from players they don't value as much as some of you guys do. And that's the sheer reality of it. You can protest vigorously. You can swallow hard and say, oh, they might be making the right move, but damn, it still hurts. I mean, there's a range of emotions, and they're all acceptable because nobody's going to win a championship here in the middle of December. And at this point, I mean, like, really, the Mets roster it's bad. The Mets are right now not a very good team, but that doesn't mean it's gonna finish up that way. You know? As for the Soto stuff, you remember there was Marte. He was involved in that, and he said he wanted him to be comfortable. Like he said, hey, this is what we do, but he also wanted him to be comfortable. You know, Juan Soto appears to be a very unique cat, and there are certain great players who really are in their own world in the sense that they're so immersed in their preparation for their job, and they're so deep in their craft that the other stuff doesn't matter to them. And it's not by blowing it off, it's not that they're not a good guy or a good locker room guy. And I don't really know the degree of Juan Soto's clubhouse relations or juice. I don't know. Maybe he is a loner. Maybe he just comes in and, you know, he's got his iPad and he's scrolling through, film, and he's looking at his swing, which I probably think is more the case than not, and always tinkering at the cage and just, again, always immersed in his laboratory of hitting. Other guys goofing off. Not that the other guys aren't being pros, but he might not have time for that. Like, that doesn't interest him. And that's okay. Like, if the onus is not on Juan Soto to become a clown, just to fit in with the whatever the hell's going on. I'm not saying that the Mets clubhouse is a bunch of clowns. I don't mean that. But you shouldn't have to radically alter his personality. You know why? Because if the Mets did their due diligence, and I know that they did before they offered him everything between the sun and the moon to leave the Yankees, then they should not be surprised that this is the player that they brought in. There were some whispers in San Diego. Machado, Soto, not a great dynamic. What was the problem? Who knows? I don't know. I know that the Padres owner, before he passed away, wanted to extend Soto big time. So it didn't seem like they were looking to get rid of Soto. They looked like they were trying to keep him. Big picture. Hey, guys, listen. I mean, I could go on a 2-minute soliloquy on the Mets. The bottom line is this: they're just not good enough. Can we please understand this? They're not good enough, and they haven't been good enough. So the route that they went prior to this, was there were moments where it was fun, and there were moments where it was successful. Not fun enough, not successful enough. So what do? You try something else. And I applaud that because, listen, the two guys who sat in this time frame for a couple of years were telling you when all of you, not all of you, many of you, put us under attack. Oh, reckless. Oh, irresponsible. Oh, and Sal was right about this. Some of the dynamics and some of the stuff in that clubhouse. And then, I jumped in and I talked about it. And I saw it, I felt it, and I believed it. They just, again, I think you get wrapped up in the chemistry. Forget about the chemistry. Do you have a good enough roster? I mean, the Yankees in 77 and 78 couldn't stand each other. Reggie didn't like Thurman. Reggie couldn't stand Nettles. Nettles couldn't stand him. Gossage couldn't stand Reggie. Who cares? Yankees went out, they bludgeoned people to death because they had great players. 86 Mets. You have Keith and Darryl swinging on each other at picture day. Who cared? We call Backman a little redneck. What was that, right? Even Darryl and Backman, like there was just some real friction there. The game started, and it was 25 guys who became one. And then when the game was over, they went in a million different directions, whether it was to the club, whether it was to somebody's hotel room to do whatever, whether it was, in the case of Gary Carter, to maybe go home and have a glass of milk and live a very different lifestyle. They weren't tight. Except on the field. That's all that matters. I think you guys are too wrapped up in the other stuff. I really do. All right, guys. Inside of our Town Fair Tire studio, our friends at Town Fair remind you that you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. 1221 on the Fan. Brandon Tierney with you. 888-808-119. Get back to these calls. Dovey barking those instructions. Well done. I was forgetting about that read, Dove. Thank you. I was getting ready to move on. Good job, Dove. Operating engineers, the local 825 are the men and women who make our region move, whether it's roads, bridges, or our favorite team stadium. They build and maintain the critical transportation, water, and energy infrastructure that we all rely on. So that's why their advocacy organization called ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the signatory contractors and the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
The home of the NFL on Westwood One is WFAN.
Up the middle and into the end zone.
The Steelers meet up with the Dolphins in Pittsburgh. 8:15 tonight. Monday Night Football is on the Fan. 101.9 FM and always available on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio apps.
FanDuel is the #1 sports book for same-game parlays. From points and rebounds to threes and assists, FanDuel is the best place to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat live. All in one easy-to-use app, and right now is the perfect time to join because new customers get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So bet on the players you love the way you want. Head to FanDuel.com/Evan to sign up today. FanDuel.com/Evan. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. We love the app around here. It's safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and over, physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Hey, it's Tiki Barber. Now's the time to score quality, affordable health insurance through Get Covered New Jersey. Every plan includes free preventive care prescriptions, emergency services, and more. And 8 in 10 people get financial help. Visit getcovered.nj.gov.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
My name is Maria. Okay, I lied, it's Mary. But I'm feeling more European after my European-style holiday on MSC Cruises. The restaurants, nightlife and shops and La Galleria. And of course, American touches, like a sports bar and water slides. Bellissimo. Okay, this is a problem.
Book now and cruise from $199 plus up to $250 onboard credit and kids sail free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hello, this is Matt Clifton from Pine Belt Mazda to offer a holiday greeting straight from the heart. Let these times bring all of us closer together. From the entire Pine Belt Mazda family to yours, may this holiday season bring you joy, health, happiness, and peace.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So don't just hang your own lights. Venture out and look for the northern lights. Drink cocoa on the beach. Or be a drive-by karaoke caroler. Because every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So you can take holidays to places they've never been. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires.
See Kia dealer for warranty details. Event ends 1/2/26.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, The Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Back on The Fan, it is, 12:27 here on this Monday. It's going on, everybody. Brandon Tierney with you. Who wants to hang out with a little schmooze? Little schmoozeroo. The schmooze Book tour. This will be fun. All right, schmooze lovers. If you're looking for a great stock, Dove, you can keep the music going a little longer than that, Dove. Man, looking for a great stocking stuffer? Call their number 10, 866-540-WFAN. That's 866-540-9326. That's your chance to win an autographed copy of Steve's book, Me Here, You There, courtesy of the schmooze himself, Steve Summers. I didn't see it. I heard a few people talking about it. So when, I don't know, Dove, did you hear this? Maybe you heard it. Somebody else brought it up. I don't know. When Schmooze, who was with Boomer and Gio the other day, right? To help, publicize the book and let everybody know what's going on. I guess after Schmooze shook Boomer's hand, Boomer rinsed his hand off with vodka? Is that actually true?
I wasn't here. I don't know.
Oh, that's right. You were off on Friday. That's right. Wow. I mean, did he do it in front of him? Well, you don't know, so I guess I'm just asking you. You don't know, but that is insane. A few people said that they were talking. I don't think they were kidding. I think that actually happened. All right, let's get back to you. 888-808-1019. Let me get Eric in Clifton on the fan. What's going on there, buddy?
Hey, good afternoon, Brett. It's been too long. That's on me. I'm sorry about that. I just wanted to say with regards to you and Sal, certain times you sit at the blackjack table, you don't split up a pair of aces. This is one of those times. I really hope you guys stick together going forward because you guys are definitely like the new version of Bash Brothers. You got a lot of people listening to you, and you guys get me through my day. And always listen to you guys, and we'll always follow you.
Listen, we've definitely felt the love, man. Sincere love. Thank you very much, Eric. What's happening, buddy?
Okay. Well, I know you said we could talk any sport, so I figured let's talk your favorite, soccer. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to give you a heart attack. Okay. I know how much you.
I'll walk out of the studio at this point. Hoff can finish the show.
Regarding baseball, regarding the Mets, I love the fact that they're burning it down because it had to happen. The group's not good enough. You've been saying it best all along. People are acting like this is 1987 and we just watched Hernandez walk out the door. This group hasn't won anything together. And as much as we all love Alonso, I mean, I don't know if the stat was right. I looked it up the other day. He's been hit by 100 pitches since he's been a Met. And if that is right, and you've got these pitchers that are not protecting him, and he's not protecting himself, you said it best. These guys on the Yankees and the Mets in 86, they may not have liked each other, but they would go to war for each other.
Yep.
It's like, when you're a fraternity, you don't got to like the guys, but, hey, man, if another fraternity brother from somebody else comes and hits your guy, that's my guy. You can't do that. I can do that. So this group, it wasn't happening, and it goes back, they don't have the nuts. It goes back to the World Series when Piazza with the bat. If I could ever bet against my team, one guy looked like he wanted to run and hide in the clubhouse, and Clemens, I thought he was going to go full Hannibal Lecter and bite his face off. Right there, the series was over. One team wanted it, the other one didn't. So, you got that. Lindor, and I agree with you. Trade him, too, because, with the whole Javi Baez thing, they had to walk him out of the bullpen like diamond formation, like they're protecting the president. How little are you guys? And to the last caller who was talking about Soto, yeah, maybe he doesn't want to hang out with these guys because he's like, what are you guys celebrating? We haven't won anything. You guys are a bunch of, this isn't winning. This is loser crap. So, build around Soto. And one other thing.
Yep.
I'll leave you with this.
Yeah.
I think that Cohen and Stearns realized something. And Cohen said something to us, and I don't think a lot of people were listening. He said, guys, listen, I'm worth $26.5 billion. Those guys out there out west are worth $750 billion. We can't outspend them. Yeah. It's not going to happen. You've got to do it intelligently through a farm system. You build up your farm. You pay your guys to stay. That's the vision that these guys have. And if Met fans are tired, and listen, you get emotional with players, and I understand. Look, I don't have kids, and people who have kids, their favorite guys are going, but this is a necessary, injection of truth serum and an antidote to get us to where we need to be. Sometimes you got to burn the old world down to create a new one that's way better, and that's what I believe is going on. BT, all the best, and I will check in with you before you leave. I know you said you're in on Friday. I'll bother you then.
I hope you do, man. Good call. A lot there. Yeah, I'm here today, obviously. Tomorrow, Wednesday. I'm off Thursday, and then I'll do my last full-time show on Friday. And, there you go. Eric, I hear you. One thing about Pete, what was that guy's name? Stubby? What was that? What was the Cardinals coach there? Puffy? Sluffy? Whatever the hell his name. But I think it was Stubby. I remember when he got drilled, right? And I'm just going to tell you what I felt that day. It's Stubby clap. There you go. Thank you, Hoff. I lost a little respect for Pete that day. I definitely lost respect for the Mets that day because nobody had his back. And he just, you watch the Mets, he gets hit a lot. And The only reason I say I lost respect for Pete that day is because what the quote was something along the lines of, like, if I get mad, I could really hurt somebody. Dude, well, then just go out and do it. I mean, if everybody's taking liberties at your body, you know? I don't know. I mean, I just thought that was weak. Yeah, I know Pete's the toughest guy in Major League Baseball. He could beat up anybody. Well, you know, I mean, what are you, third tip black belt, jiu-jitsu superstar? I mean, it's okay to throw a punch when everybody's just coming at you. And I really lost respect that day. I remember that vividly. I think it was a day game, but I remember when he got hit, and even like Stubby took him down from behind, like kind of grabbed him. And I don't want to say he just threw him around like a rag doll, but I'm like, there's no way a coach should be. You shouldn't let anybody do that to you. I mean, now, if you don't have the physical capabilities to get somebody to stop doing that, well, that's one thing. But, when you're a big, burly, big, strong, lumberjack kind of Paul Bunyan type like Pete Alonso is, when people are denting you left and right with 99-mile-per-hour fastballs and your teammates don't have the sack to do anything about it, maybe you should. I just remember I lost a little respect that day for him. Some people might think that that's an odd statement. I don't care. I remember it. Lou and Merrick. What up, Lou?
Hey, Brendan. First, I just want to wish you the best moving forward, and I'm in lockstep with the sentiment shared by the callers earlier.
Thanks, Lou. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to see if you agree with me on one quick Jet point.
Go ahead.
And you and Joe are the only two hosts that I can ask this question to. But
okay.
Jet ownership surrendered home field advantage by moving the team off the island and dropping it on I-95 right next to the major airport.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, this made it like crazy easy and comfortable for road fans to show up, and the reason why the stadium's half filled with road fans.
That's interesting. I mean, obviously the turnpike's accessible, trains, Penn Station, blah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of it. I think the other part is that the Jets just basically suck, and all the fans in the tri-state region who root for whether it's a Patriots team or a Dolphins team or I'm thinking of other national Niners or a Raiders team, even though the Raiders stink. The Jets have zero national profile, and they never reward their fans. So, when the Jets are tuned whatever and the Bills come in, or the Steelers opening, week one with their throngs of fans, or the Vikings fans, they're going to take over the house. And that's just the way it is. Would it happen in Shea? Would it happen out east? Probably not as much. But I think it's more to do with the Jets just stink. Because trust me, I had season tickets for a couple of years, and when the Jets were good under Parcells, that didn't happen. It didn't happen. Fair enough, Lou?
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
You got it, buddy.
Absolutely, man. Good luck with everything.
No, I appreciate it, Lou. I wanted to give you a chance to respond there. Thank you very much. Mark's at Oceanside. What up, Mark?
How are you, BT?
Good, man. What's going on?
Well, first I'd like to say that the past 2 years listening to you and Sal have been a total wonderful experience for me in listening to sports. The fan will go dark in my house starting after your show on Friday. And I'm just saddened by the fact that this kind of entertainment is being taken away from me and many other fans.
I appreciate that. We, speaking for Sal with this, we appreciate that. We really have felt the love. We felt in a business where you don't get a chance to really do a couple of the final shows. It just doesn't really happen. So I appreciate management trusting me and us last week and the week before when the story broke when we were on the air. But it's the business, man. It's the business I chose. I'll be fine. I'll be better than fine. So will he. But thank you. And we'll miss the place. There's no doubt about it, Mark. There's no doubt.
Okay, and we'll miss you.
Thank you.
Okay. As you may remember, I've been bashing Stern since last year.
All over him.
Okay, so what I did after this Pete Alonso fiasco is I said, let me back off a little bit and get the emotion out of it and think like a logical, intelligent person. And I did come up with a couple of answers to myself. Number one, the idea of rebooting the Mets, I'm for it. Mm-hmm. However, losing Pete was a huge mistake. Why? Run prevention. Okay, I'll buy run prevention.
Mm-hmm.
There's a slot that the Mets have ignored for their whole history, which is called DH.
Yeah.
You can't give up a guy who knocks in 125 runs a year and replace him with the players they brought in. We're worse now than ever before in recent history. We're weaker in the bullpen. We're weaker at the plate. and we're stronger defensively at second base. That's the trade-off.
Yep.
And the question you and Sal have been posing to the audience is, don't you think Stearns is intelligent? Don't you think he's smart?
I do.
You're asking the wrong question.
Go ahead.
The right question is not, is he smart, BT, but is he competent? He is smart. Dartmouth, I got it. I went to an Ivy League school. So what? It doesn't matter if he's smart. He's got to be competent. And this man has shown over and over and over again that he's not competent to run a New York
I don't know
franchise.
if that's fair, Mark. A little bit early for that, man. I mean,
Here's my proof.
Go ahead.
Frankie Montas.
Well, that
Paul
was horrible.
Blackburn,
I mean, that was
Griffin
just
Canning, Jose Siri, Cedric Mullins.
Yeah, but hold on. But Mark, hold on. If you're going to rifle through names, I mean, Griffin Canning was off to a really good start. I mean, looked a lot better than he did the previous year. He ruptures Achilles.
Okay. So, call me wrong on that one. Okay. How about Frankie Montas? Paul
He's the worst. He's horrible.
What was the reliever's name who came in and had a 9? Helsley.
Minter?
Helsley.
Oh, Helsley in terms of the trade, yeah. Awful.
Cedric Mullins.
Stunk.
Jose Siri.
Mullins was
AJ
awful.
Winker.
I hear you.
So
but Winker got hurt. Hold on. But hold on. Winker got hurt. And Mark, what you're doing, and I know I'll talk to you before Friday. Thanks for the call, man. Thank you for the kind words. I love the pushback, good stuff. You don't like Stearns, I get it. But not competent that's heavy to drop at his doorstep at this point. Number one, he's a pretty accomplished, granted, most of it was in a different city, but a pretty accomplished young baseball executive. So I don't think that's fair to say that he lacks competence. Now, you want to say that maybe he's got to kind of augment this style and kind of fit a big market and maybe extend the boundaries of how we attacks an offseason. No longer the old little tiny penny pinching ways of the Brewers. Adjust to the bigger paycheck and the bigger city and the bigger profile. I mean, okay, that's a fair conversation. He's certainly not perfect, but for all those names that you throw at me, you didn't mention Iglesias. You didn't mention Minaya year one. I mean, there's 2 years in the book. One was good, one was not. And this is where we'll get more answers, honestly. Now, the difference here is that there's more emotional stuff at play based on the defection of players that you really valued, which I get. But until there's a pitch thrown and a bad April or an extended malaise to really react to, he's one good season, he's one bad one. That's just a fact of it. 888-808-1019, BT and Sal on the Fan. Hey, this winter, I said BT and Sal, I'm so used to saying it. Yeah, that's all right. This winter, celebrate the joy of the season in a new all-electric SUV from Cadillac. Make every drive exciting with the innovative technology and the optic. Arrive confidently with the sophisticated stylings of the Lyric. Listen, I've had a Cadillac for a long time. I love it. And it is huge. It just hums like a kitten. It's got a little juice to it. Obviously, some nice high-tech stuff inside. Comfortable, whether it's a spacious 3-row Vistic. Experience EV luxury, which we had a chance to do for a couple of weeks. Phenomenal. Like never before at the season's best sales event. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. And, of course, the show brought to you by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury of the New York Giants.
It's Boomer and Gio. Mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
The other team, I guess, wins without playing is the New York Giants because now they have the number 1 draft pick this coming April.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. It's been one of the strangest weeks of Joe Burrow's career. After cryptic comments about needing to, quote-unquote, have fun on the field, then Sunday happened. Burrow and his offense were shut out 24-0 by the Ravens, and he called it one of the worst games he's ever played. In just a few days, a quarterback who's been the face of a Super Bowl run went from rumors and introspection to the harsh reality of another missed playoff season. I'm Maggie Gray.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results vary. Consult with your tax professional prior to enrollment.
For all station contest rules, go to WFAN.com/rules.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Football season is here, and just like winning teams, your engagement should be all about the best. So if you're ready to pop the big question this season, why not visit the experts at London Jewelers? With top-notch professionals and cutting-edge technology, London Jewelers can help you select or even design the absolute perfect ring. So whether you're starting over or starting new, let the professionals at London Jewelers be a part of your journey. Visit any one of their convenient 6 locations across New York and New Jersey. London Jewelers, serving you and your family since 1926.
Talk New York sports on The Fan.
Guys, thanks for helping me carry my Christmas tree.
Zoe, this thing weighs a ton.
Drewski, live with your legs, man.
Santa! Did you get my letter?
He's talking to you, Bridges.
I'm not.
Of course he did, right, Santa?
You know, my elf Drewski here, he handles the nice list.
And hell, I'm 6'3". What everyone wants is iPhone 17. And at T-Mobile, you can get it on them. That center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. Right, Mrs. Claus?
I'm Mrs. Claus's much younger sister. And at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch. So you can keep your old phone.
Or give it as a gift.
And the best part, you can make the switch to T-Mobile from your phone in just 15 minutes.
Guys, my side of the tree is slipping.
Timber!
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Switch in just 15 minutes and get iPhone 17 on us with no trade-in needed.
With 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement 256 gigs, $830. Eligible port in a new line. $100 plus a month plan with autopay plus taxes and fees required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Islanders hockey is here. Grab an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your Islanders on the ice. Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside, official partner of the New York Islanders. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Like most car buyers, you want to get the most for your money. That's why more Mazda buyers choose Ramsey Mazda. Get an impressive offer on a new Mazda CX-5, starting at $28,546 during the More to Move You sales event. Over 1,000 new Mazda vehicles to choose from. Visit RamseyMazda.com. Get the most for your money at Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
This winter is shaping up to be a harsh, snowy season. So take control of the roads with a new set of Bridgestone Blizzak tires from Town Fair Tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, Town Fair gives you the most free services with your purchase of Bridgestone Blizzak tires. For the guaranteed best deal on Bridgestone Blizzak tires with the most free services for life, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Hey everyone, Boomer here with a bright idea this holiday season. Whether you are a DIYer or an electrical contractor, why not make Cooper Electric your first stop for gifts that work as hard as you do? Like Milwaukee, the brand trusted by professionals everywhere. From pack-out storage and cordless tools to hand tools and heated apparel, Milwaukee brand makes the perfect gift for the electric expert in your life. And they're ready for pickup at your local Cooper Electric branch with several locations all across the tri-state. Tell them Boomer sent you or order online at cooper-electric.com. Cooper Electric, our knowledge is electric.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
All right, BT back back on the Fan 1247. 888-808-1019 is the number. We get back to a lot of baseball talk. And by the way, the more baseball talk, the better. I mean, sometimes I'm bored myself with this football talk. You know, there's just really just not much to get into. You know, outside of draft stuff and coaching, it's just a beatdown. It's absolutely exhausting. It is not fun. You know, it's just brutal. There's just really not much like right now. Sure, things down the road. Who's going to coach the Giants? What are the Jets going to do at quarterback? But God, we've been hitting this for so many months. It's absolutely exhausting. And thankfully, it's almost coming to an end. I just can't wait for the season to be over, both of these teams. And then the offseason should be fun. In a lot of ways, like the Yanks and the Mets. A lot going on with the Mets. Hopefully the Yankees wake up and start doing some stuff here. But outside of the Knicks, who are getting ready to hopefully win the Cup tomorrow night, I'll get into that for a second, a little bit later, last hour of the show. It's a little depressing around the sports scene, there's no doubt. All right, let's before we get back to the phones, let me give you the Giants drive of the game, brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety, reminding you to make the right choice. Don't drive impaired. So we know the Giants obviously lost again, 2-12. I remember saying like 5 weeks ago, I remember with Sal, I'm like, Jets going to have more wins than the Giants. And like I meant it, but I didn't really say it with incredible confidence. It's actually going to happen. Or at least the same, right? Giants beat the Raiders. Jets don't win again. I mean, both with 3 wins. Pathetic. Anyway, the drive of the game, Giants had a chance. They would have needed the 2-point conversion. They had the ball, just inside of 240. Tracy a couple of yards, and then no huddle. So you're starting to get a little scramble. Dart goes for 8 yards, and then incomplete. Deep middle to Robinson, taking a good shot downfield. Tracy, a phenomenal gain. Incomplete short to Slayton. Sets up 4th and 8 with $1:43 to go. Shotgun dart, incomplete deep. Robinson, who's been very good for a lot of the season, Wandale Robinson. He's a free agent, right, Huff? We were talking about this before. I believe he is. So, I mean, if they just gave Slayton that, 3 years, 30, whatever it was, you have Malik Neighbors. You very well might draft a wide receiver high. Are you going to really pay Robinson? Are you going to find a way to keep him? I mean, he's had a good year. But that was the Giants' drive of the game. All right, let's get back to you guys here on the phones. Let me get John on Staten Island. John, what's happening, buddy? How you doing?
What's up? Good, brother. Fellow Red Fox here. We've talked before.
Okay.
I got to tell you something, bro.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to seeing your show. You guys should go to Bonacera before or after for a little action, because that place is popping right near the Count Basie Theater.
I have no idea.
This is why I got a call.
I don't think I'll be going. What is this? Strip? What is it?
No.
What is it?
No, it's an Italian restaurant.
Okay.
But
I got you.
They move all the tables out and all the chicks to dance, and it's fun. After the show.
I didn't know John, you never know with some of our listeners. Who knows where they were trying to get us to go. I know we will make a night of it, that's for sure. By the way, check out my socials for tickets with me and Sal. Little live show in New Jersey. 1/22 is the date. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. There's only 400 Boone's coming by for the whole show. It's going to be awesome.
Okay, so here's my point. I'm getting very frustrated as a diehard Met fan listening to the Fu Manchu disciples call up and say that Steve Cohen only cares about the casino. Note to self, old people. He doesn't own the casino. Hard Rock owns the casino. He's building the land development around it. It's not Uncle Stevie's in Corona. It's the smartest decision ever. If you've ever been to Boston or where the Patriots play or whatever, where you can actually you can park and walk around with your family and have dinner and do something, and you don't have to go to Stan's or Billy's or in Queens. All you can do is get on the train.
Yeah,
it's going to be beautiful.
Or try to get a set of rims for the car at the chop shop.
Exactly, and it's going to be beautiful. And also,
I agree.
Think ahead. He owns a hedge fund. He's betting that there's going to be a lockout. If there is a lockout and he has construction, why would he bring in long-term deals for players that are going to age sitting on the couch when he can get rid of long-term contracts, bring in smaller contracts that he can buy out? I know it sucks because I'm a Met fan. I want them to win. But think ahead 4 years from now. You want the team to have the young people be good. Why would you go and trade for Tarek Skubal? Again, get rid of a bunch of young people, and he's going to sit on the couch. Maybe it's 3 months. Maybe it's 6 months. Maybe it's a year. Horrible business decision. Hold pat.
Okay.
Do your best.
Yep.
And like, again, he doesn't own a casino.
John, I'm with you.
He doesn't own a casino.
And by the way, even
He
if
might have
he did,
a small-
John, even if he did, you're right. But even if he did, I think the fact that some people don't think he could do both, I think it's offensive. I think it's ridiculous.
Well,
so,
of course.
Okay, so, but what do you want them to do? I'm with you largely, but what do you want to see the rest of the winter here?
I would like to see them. Yeah, I would love to see them trade for Bavetta and Mason Miller.
Okay.
I would love to see them. I would love to see them bring in another pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
And ideally, if you could, I don't think Polanco is going to play first base. So I want them to get rid of McNeil. I would like them to maybe trade Vientos or Mauricio or somebody else, and get just an athletic defensive first baseman.
Okay.
So pitching, go with that, and then listen. If we're in it at the trade deadline, go nuts.
Mm-hmm.
But just don't give everything away for a short-term fix to please the fans. The fans are mad anyway, and you know when they're really going to be mad? When they start the construction on the parking garage first.
Yeah.
And nobody can get to the stadium.
Yeah.
He knows this. He knows this.
Yeah, I know.
And
All right.
I love you, and I love Sal. I didn't get to call in before he left. I also am a father of twin girls. One of them is autistic and she's on the spectrum, but only a little bit. But she also has ADHD, and I just know how stressful it is.
Yep.
So I'm sending love to both your families. Merry Christmas. But the Fu Manchu disciples with the boy genius in the casino, learn. If you have a portfolio in real estate right now under Trump, you're making tons of cash.
Yeah, I got you.
So enjoy it.
The Fu Manchu disciples. That's still funny. John, thanks for the call there, buddy. The boy, he just shreds Stearns. Man, oh man, talking about Joe B. He's still rocking the Fu Man? I guess he is. Here's what I don't understand. The criticisms of Metropolitan Park. He's enriching our area. How do you not understand this? And I don't think he's doing it at the expense of his team. Now, if you think that, then I could see why you'd have resistance to the area. But, I don't know, as a native New Yorker who looks at so many parts of our area that's just gross. And, I've seen a lot of the country. I've been to I think it's 44 states? Because I lived in a lot of different places working my way up in the business. Spent time out west, San Francisco, lived in Nevada, been up to Wyoming. I've been everywhere. I've seen the country. And we're only one of the, so many of these stadiums have so many nice, even Detroit, where, which at one point was like the homicide capital. I mean, just dangerous, man. But if you go to Ford Field and Comerica Park and Hockey Town, their downtown has become pretty vibrant. Now, I don't know if you want to be down there when there's no games going on, but at least you can walk around and it's festive and there's bars and there's restaurants and it's just a good vibe. You're right. You go to a Met game, go home. Tailgate in your car if you can get a parking spot, and then go home. I remember going to a lot of games. I think I went with Moose a couple times. I'm pretty sure we would do the old SNY show, The Wheelhouse. I don't think they really do this quite as much with some of their SNY shows now. But we would do a lot of live shows from Citi Field. And we would be out there, and all the shows would be out there. And McFadden's was open, and McFadden's was hopping. And it was basically, it was part of the stadium. But at least you could go to McFadden's and, spend an hour or two before, an hour or two after, and have a great time. You got to build up the area. I mean, really, what the hell is around Citi Field? It's absolutely gross. No disrespect. And it's going to look phenomenal. And it's going to be an economic coup for the area. I mean, all of the surrounding area that if you own real estate now within a, 8, 10, 12, 15-mile radius of that area, down the road, you're going to make money. It's going to be a more desirable place to be. Businesses are coming. When businesses come, rents and values go up. It's pretty basic stuff. So it's going to go from an eyesore to a bustling, modern, amazingly vibrant scene. I think it's great. 888-808-1019. BT here on the Fan. We'll get back to the calls. Got you an hour before it's Evan and Tiki taking over too.
Regular season battles in football. Off-season moves in baseball. The Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Jets all live here. The Fan, 1019 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Embrace the spirit of the season in comfort and style. The Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration is here. Your moment to make dreams come true at Mercedes-Benz of Edison. With over 500 vehicles to choose from, including the versatile GLC and GLE SUVs, there's the perfect holiday gift for the one you love. Enjoy legendary Ray Cattina customer service and see why Mercedes-Benz of Edison was named the 2024 Mercedes-Benz Dealership of the Year by Cars.com. Celebrate the season in true luxury at Mercedes-Benz of Edison.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on the team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
One choice can change everything. The New York City Department of Transportation reminds drivers to slow down and yield to pedestrians. You can't rewind a crash.
Brees Hall, the I-back, at the 5-yard line. Handoff, Brees Hall finds a crease, runs left. He's into the end zone for a Jet touchdown.
Jets fans, come out to MetLife Stadium for a Week 17 divisional matchup. See the New York Jets host the New England Patriots Sunday, December 28th at 1 p.m. Presented by Ticketmaster. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
Move and be moved in the Mazda CX-5, the smart choice for those who expect more. With standard iActive all-wheel drive and advanced safety, there's more to a Mazda. Celebrate the More to Move You winter sales event and lease the Mazda CX-5 for $229 a month. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
We love talking about the Knicks and Nets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 1 o'clock. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com, and by your local Mazda dealer. After allowing 48 points in their 11th loss yesterday afternoon in Jacksonville, Aaron Glenn fired D coordinator Steve Wilkes this morning.
I've said this all along that I'm evaluating players, I'm evaluating coaches, I'm evaluating myself, and I just felt like this was the best decision for right now for the team and for this organization.
Passing game coordinator Chris Harris is the interim replacement, with Glenn also working with the unit. Frigid temperatures and playoff implications on Monday Night Football. The Steelers hosting the Dolphins, trying to maintain their one-game lead on the Ravens atop the AFC North. Miami, meanwhile, has won 4 straight to cling to wild card contention. Westwood One coverage begins at 7 here on the Fan. Kickoff is 8:15. And Mika Zibanejad, a healthy scratch tonight for the Rangers after missing a team meeting. It's a big one to miss. The Rangers hosting the Ducks, which means Chris Kreider and Jacob Trouba are back in town for the first time. Fan weather is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. It's cloudy, a real feel of 14 in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants, who continue to lose, and the New York Jets, who continue to get absolutely dismantled and just smoked. I mean, really 2 no-shows the last couple of games here for the Jets. Steve Wilkes is out, which is the right move. And, they just showed an aversion to tackling. Couldn't generate a pass rush. I mean, 0 resistance. I mean, taking horrendous angles. I'm not saying that it's all Steve Wilkes' fault, but the Bucs got to stop somewhere. And before I get back to the hot stove stuff, Yanks and Mets topics obviously on the table. The way things build in the NFL, and especially the way I know how you guys are, because I went through it with the Giants regime and Robert Saleh as well. So I do think that Aaron Glenn could be a good coach. I do. There's been a little evidence, like, winning before the bye and then winning off the bye and just showing some life and some, self-motivation and some pride when they clearly didn't have a lot of weapons. But I think maybe in a different situation, the team would have packed up shop and quit. So, I mean, but that's also the bare bones expectation. Like, I kind of need your team to play hard, but the Jets really don't have much talent. So I give them kind of a pass on the record, and the quarterback play has been wretched. Now, he brought Justin Fields in here, whatever. But I will say this, the way it goes, like, all right, you can give a coach a little bit of a pass on a season or a situation, but that expires kind of quick. Like, think about Wink Martindale and Dable, where, great synergy, fantastic. Wink doing his thing, and obviously Daniel Jones, that first year, 8 rushing touchdowns, Giants winning a road playoff game. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, next year is that you got the GM picking up the headsets during game day communication to see what kind of operation Dable's running. And then you hear all these crazy stories, which I don't know if they were that crazy. Wink trying to subvert Dable's message, and he's trying to be the man and trying to take over a little bit, so you can't have that happen to somebody who's under you, so Dable fires him. And what I'm saying is, after a while, there's only so many ways and so many people that you can point to where you say, hey, it's their fault. Like, it's Wink's fault. It's the new DC's fault. It's injuries. It's the GM. Ownership. Whatever. I'm just saying now, generalities here. So while it's the right move, and I do like that it's fairly quick for the Jets not to drag this on, show the man respect. He's getting paid certainly for the rest of his contract. Every penny Steve Wilkes will be fine financially. Not that it's easy getting fired, but he'll be fine. But now there's only so many more bad hires that Aaron Glenn will be able to survive before you are calling the station up and looking to kick down the door or kick it in, It's not an endless, infinite list of mistakes. He messed up at quarterback, messed up with the DC. That needs to be said. Like, to me, it's when we got the breaking news during the show, like, my first reaction was like, okay, no kidding. I mean, the Jets defense has been awful. Basically giving up 50 points, can't stop anybody. No kidding, he got fired. Okay. But I very quickly turned in and pivoted to what I just said. Like, that's the story right now for Aaron Glenn. And I don't think that you should lose sight of that, So that's how I feel about that. 888-808-1019. Let me get Brian in Ridgewood on the fan. What's going on, Brian?
Hey, BT. Thanks for taking the call. And you hit just right now on the point I wanted to make, which was a lot of people are saying, Aaron Glenn, or this coordinator, that coordinator. Aaron Glenn's in-game assessment of what's going on is just awful. He gets out, we see post-game, and he's talking about, Justin Fields played very well, and he had a few things here or there, when we all watched the game and knew it was terrible, but he had no assessment from the sideline that it was terrible. The same thing with the defense over the past few weeks. He's not noticing that during the game, it's just awful, and he has to wait, and he gets on the press conference, and he says, we did some good things. He watches the tape the next day and realizes how bad it is. How come he can't make those in-game assessments and adjustments to see how bad things are going?
Okay, now, listen, it's a fair question, but I really think you're overthinking this. Number one, he's not going to throw his players under the bus. At least he's a little bit more honest, a lot more than Saleh, who you'd think that the Jets were a 12-win team, listening to his press conferences every year. But So I think that's part of it. As a former player, he understands protecting players, especially the modern athlete. Number one. Number two, you talk about adjustments. I mean, Brian, that sounds good calling into a radio show. Hey, make some adjustments. What are we doing? Look at the guys who are out there. I mean, half of the defenders on the field won't even be on the team next year from yesterday. They got nobody.
Yeah.
You know?
I get that. But at some point, like going back to the Justin Fields piece, everyone saw how bad it was, 54 yards passing. And at some point, everyone was asking, pull the quarterback, put in the backup at halftime. Everyone was waiting for it. And never happened, never entered his mind. The press conference post was nothing about it. No, I didn't think about it. And then the next day, he's talking about a quarterback change. It just seems he's late on all of these.
Well, no, but I think sometimes something could be reinforced when you watch the tape, Brian. Thanks for the call. I mean, I get it. I don't know that I had to really watch tape on Justin Fields to see him miss somebody by 3 yards and, basically throw worm burners and short hops left and right, on little 12-yard passes. But I think goes back to what I said about protecting players to an extent. And also, Aaron Glenn knows, or at least he thought, that there was upside with Justin Fields. And I didn't really disagree. Whereas with Tyrod Taylor, all right, there's a steadiness. And again, I'm tired of saying this, but it fits. The floor's a little bit higher because he's a little bit more accurate. But, Tyrod Taylor's not going to house one from 65, 70 yards out. Justin Fields could. And at that point, remember, think about this, because Braylon Allen got hurt against Miami. I don't even know what game that was off the top. It was fairly early, maybe week 5. I could be off. But for the first 5 weeks or so, like the Jets running game, you had Hall, you had Allen. Think about that opening drive against Miami. I mean, they just shoved it down Miami's throat. And shoved it down their throat. And then Allen coughed it up at the goal line. Jets lost the game, excruciating fashion. We know. And that was not the only game that they would lose in excruciating fashion. The Buck game in week 3. The Steelers game in week 1. I mean, it really, and now it's just off the rails because they're trotting out a bunch of guys who really, with all due respect, are not NFL-level starters. You want to tell me with some development, whatever, some more reps, they could be backups down the road. What their talent is non-existent on defense, which is another reason why if you don't love Mendoza or whomever, forget about it. Just trade down and, get a linebacker, get a corner, get a big receiver, just do it. I mean, they got a lot to do. But I can't really criticize Glenn for that. The man knows more football than my entire family tree. He's forgotten more football than my entire family tree knows put together. So do I think that he really needed to watch the film to see if Justin Fields was throwing the ball well? No. He can identify that if he's not even by looking with one eye at the upper deck and one eye at the field. He knows. But he's trying to get the guys to believe in themselves. And, again, things you really don't want to hear, but things that do matter. John's in Brick on the Fan. John, what's up?
Brandon, what's up, my old friend?
Good, man. What's happening?
Used to sit next to you in 208 in the old stadium.
No! Yes,
sir, man.
Yeah, with your mom, right?
That was my aunt.
Your aunt.
Your friend
yes.
Bobby's friend.
Yes. John.
When we could bring our own refreshments in.
You think? This was pre 9/11, so you could sneak anything that you wanted into the stadium. We would sneak like 5 or 6 cold ones in each.
Did.
John,
we did.
Now, John, you saw, this is funny. So the first year I started going in 97, had him 98. Yep. I was there with you right next to me when Vinny got hurt in 99 and then 2000. Yep. Then I moved away and my career was kind of going, so I had to give him up. You saw young BT. Let's not divulge too much on the air, Brandon, here, John. Could get in trouble.
No, Brandon, you told me your dream. Mike and the Mad Dog were on. You told us you were going to do it. You were embarrassed. You said, this is what I'm doing. We were very encouraging of you, very encouraging. And I was totally psyched to hear you on the radio. I talked to you once on 1050 ESPN, and I've obviously been a big fan ever since. I'm so glad to finally get on this week. It's awesome to talk to you, man.
That's really phenomenal. John, is your aunt still alive? Is she okay?
Yeah, dude,
Nice.
we still go.
That's awesome. That is great.
We're in section 201 now, right behind the uprights. We couldn't stay in those sweet seats where we were.
We had the overhang too, so when it was raining, we were dry.
Yeah, we're still dry. It was one of our requirements.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
To get seats. Yeah, but we talk about you all the time, man. I said, I got to try and get him on the air.
Well, good thing you got in this week.
Yeah, it was...
all good.
Listen, we haven't been the same since Victor Cruz. I mean...
Yeah, that's true, man.
That Victor Cruz night, that ruined my Christmas, that we haven't been the same. Prior to that, it was 7 out of 13 years in the playoffs. And we had something to, it was fun going to the game.
Yeah,
it was competitive, man.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
And
man, I miss those days,
Cruz,
John.
It's never been the same, BT. It's never been the same.
Who do you want at quarterback next year? What are you going to do with quarterback?
I'll be honest, dude. I don't watch the college game enough to say, if Mendoza's the deal and we can get there with the pick, let's take a shot. I mean, I believe in AG. I think we're going to be okay there. As far as DC, I don't know. Wilkes obviously wasn't getting it done, but it all starts with the quarterback, and we don't have one. So if it's Mendoza, why not?
What else is new? We don't have one. John, I'm so happy you got through. Give my best to your anthem.
Man.
Okay?
Listen, I certainly will. I just want to wish you the best, and I'll be listening wherever you go.
That's phenomenal, John. Wow, I'm so happy you got through. That's great. Thanks, dude. That is crazy. Yeah, I mean, he was pretty, I'm going to use the word normal. He was normal. I mean, I would walk into that stadium. I look back, I have some pictures now. They're not from iPhones, unfortunately, because the clarity would be so much better. I've got pictures, and I've said this before, I don't know what I was thinking. I would walk into the stadium with like a do-rag on and, oh God almighty, black Nike batting gloves and my Cribet jersey that I got from Cosby's, like with the arms cut so you can show off the guns. Well, not that they were like over the top guns, but better back then than they are now. Like I actually thought in my crazy mind that they were going to ask me to play. And that was pre 9/11. That was the old Meadowlands. Like we would God, I loved going to those games, man. Number one, John's right. They were fun. Now, 96, that's when I started going. That was the misery. That was the 1-15 train wreck with Kotite. But then Bill comes in 97. Jets go 9-7. I remember they played the Raiders that year. They blocked a punt. Boy, I remember so many of those games. I remember the first win and then even 98, they started 0-2. They lost in San Francisco when Garrison Hurst had the 96-yard run, and we whiffed on a million tackles. Keyshawn caught a couple. Cribet caught. Glenn Foley was the quarterback on the old Candlestick, dirt infield. My God. And then we lost the next game. Was it the Rams or the Ravens? I thought it was the Rams. I could be off on that. And then the Jets come back, and they're 0-2, and they beat the Colts like 44-6. And that's when Vinny started playing. Leon Johnson, remember him? He catches like a little screen pass, goes like 70 to the house. And that year just took off. And John was right next to me. That's a beautiful gift right there. I remember Zan. I still can remember what they looked like. But man, what we would sneak in there. And the walk from the tailgate. And it's like you were walking into a Roman Coliseum. Like there was just oh God, that's a long time ago, man. But they didn't really care what you did. You can sneak, you get a couple of cold ones, stick them in your waist, hide them. Because I was a kid. I had no money. I was just out of college. So, I couldn't afford whatever it was, $7-8 a beer. I had to sneak them in. 888-808-1019. I'm so happy you called, John. Neil's in Greenwich, Connecticut. What's up, Neil?
Hey, BT. How are you?
Good.
Hey, good. Listen, I tried to get on last week, but obviously you guys were pretty busy. I wanted to tell you how much I enjoyed the chemistry, the energy you guys had the last couple of years. I will definitely be one of many who will follow you wherever you go. And Sal, I hope you both wind up doing something together. I will say one more thing because I can go on and on about that. But I've been listening to fans since '87, since day one, and you guys are, and only Mike and the Mad Dog is the show that I was more bummed to see not continue. So I really want to give you kudos, and I really hope you guys find yourselves doing something together, because I think you guys complement each other extremely well.
That's the highest praise, man. I mean, we can't shine their shoes, Mike and Chris, but that's the highest praise. We can't. No, come on,
don't sell yourself short, man. You guys did a great job.
Thank you very much.
And it was humming. But anyway,
Yep.
Yeah, you guys definitely left on a high note. But I know you don't want to just hear all that stuff. Let me just real quick on a couple of sports thoughts.
Sure.
One thing I will miss is you have a good critical voice, particularly to my favorite team, the Yankees. And the thing that, and I'm not sure if you're going to go here, but would be willing to go here. But my view is, Steinbrenner, like George, by all accounts, never intended him to run the team. Meaning that the son-in-law Swindell, he was first in line, then they got divorced, and then it was Hank. And then Hank died, and it's Hal. And like Hal is like the first to say when he was a kid, he wasn't interested in baseball and blah, blah, blah. And, he's never at a game. I don't even know, how he watches any games.
I'm sure he watches, but he's not there. Well, he's not present very often, yep.
He's not there. He's not there. And look, I just think it's pretty simple. I mean, the guy has faith because he knows nothing else other than Cashman. And Cashman, obviously, look, some people will argue that the Yankees, it's tough to make the playoffs every year. I'll make the case that, look, you got 6 teams in each division, $300 million. You look at it, if you're a top 5 payroll, most likely 3 out of 4 of the top, 60, 70% of those teams make the playoffs every year. And look at the Yankees in the years 13, 14, 15, 16, how atrocious those rosters were. Yeah. Basically, Aaron Judge's first line of his Hall of Fame plaque should be, he carried a Brian Cashman roster for 10 plus years. Because other than Aaron Judge, this team is a wreck. The offense is atrocious.
Well, the pitching's good. Let's be fair. The pitching's really good. The staff is really good.
Yeah. My other thing is I'm a Yankee fan, but I'm a big baseball. I'm like you, Emmanuel. We're the same age. I'm Emmanuel passionate fan. I'm a passionate baseball fan overall. But my thing on the Mets, just as an observation, is I look at this guy Stearns. You remember the old Red Sox GM? He was brought in from Tampa Bay, and he traded Mookie Betts. He was sort of forced to trade Betts. And, I forgot his name off the top of my head. He was a candidate for the Mets job. He wound up being now the Cardinals GM. I wonder if Stearns is a little bit like him, i.e. the guy did a nice job in a small market, and I really question if Stearns knows what it takes to run a big market team and to be willing to spend the extra money that big market teams unfortunately have to spend.
Yeah. I mean, what I don't understand, Neil, thank you for the call. What I don't get, and maybe it's not this simple. I'm sure I'm oversimplifying this to an extent, but if you can have success in Milwaukee with more restraints financially, I mean, shouldn't it be easier here? You can still remain married to the same baseball principles. Okay, run prevention, more athleticism. You can still, have a vision of how you want the drafting and the scouting and the personnel department, what they're looking for to have that synergy of the kind of player that you had in Milwaukee, but you can accent it with a checkbook. I mean, this should be easier. It should be. The other thing to your first point about Aaron Judge, I remember doing this on, I guess it was maybe Friday, certainly Thursday or Friday. With Sal, we were talking about the 2022 Mets, and I remember he was at the Padres-Mets game, and I was at the Yankees-Astros game, and I remember going through, I did this late last week, looked at the box score from 2022 Mets, Padres, last one. Mets got shut out. I think it was 6-zip. And you look at their roster, because we were talking about how they needed to overhaul this. It just wasn't good enough. Like Nito was their catcher. Vogelback was the DH that night. This is in the freaking playoffs, right? So this notion that like the Mets were, I think there was an overestimation and an over-evaluation, or valuation, really, better way to say it, of who these Mets have been the last couple of years. And by the way, the same applies to the Yankees. And I didn't do it the other day, but I'm going to do it now very briefly. And I was in the stadium in the Bronx, and I swear to God, if you told me I was at a An April 19th game against the Oakland A's on a Tuesday night, that's the kind of juice it had during a playoff game. And if you were there, you know what I'm saying. And I'm looking at the box score from that night. Now, I know he's turned things around, and I know he had a pretty good run that postseason, but Harrison Bader was the leadoff man. Rizzo was the 3-hitter. You had Donaldson hitting 6th as your starting third baseman. What did he hit in the playoffs? 077. Cabrera started in left field. Kiner Falefa was the shortstop. Carpenter, who had some home runs that year, obviously, was a pinch hitter. Peraza and Trevino. I mean, this is the American League Championship Series for the right to go to the World Series, man. So that didn't speak on the Yankees building some formidable roster. It was, all right, to the caller's point, Judge is going to carry them during the regular season. He's going to be all-time. And then you're going to get there, and the discrepancy in talent is going to be so glaring, there is nothing you could do about it. The Yankees and the Astros could have played that series 10 times. I don't really think the Yankees win one series. I don't. I mean, the Astros were so much better. Altuve, Pena, Alvarez, Bregman, Young Tucker, Gurriel. That's their first 6 hitters, first 7 hitters. You heard some of the scrubs I mentioned with the Yankees. So, you know, there's been some smoke and mirrors, I think, for both of these teams. That's why I'm remaining patient rather than acting like a lunatic every day. I want to see what the Yankees do. I want to see what the Mets do. Because I think deep down, even if you're really opposed to the Pete stuff and the Nimmo stuff and the Yankees being relatively inactive, I think that we all know that unless there's some sort of radical, I think radical more for the Mets than the Yankees, to be fair, but overhaul, like reconstruction for both of these teams, more for the Mets, neither team's going to win a damn thing. And as much as we love talking baseball, we do. You know, it would be nice to talk about a championship team at some point, you know? All right, 888-808-1019, BT on the Fan. Will come back right back to the calls. I got you about 30 minutes after that. Then it's Evan and Tiki coming up on the Fan.
It may be the offseason for the Bombers and Amazons, but there's no offseason for Yankees and Mets talk. Get the latest here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
I'm Dan Day from the BetMGM Network here to help you beat the books. I'm taking the Steelers laying 3 against the Dolphins tonight on Monday Night Football. It's going to be cold, and Tua Tagovailoa not very good in the cold. He's 0-5 in games that are played under 40 degrees, and it'll be that tonight in Pittsburgh. So I think that gives Pittsburgh an advantage. On top of that, they haven't lost at home on Monday Night Football since 1991. I'm expecting a big game from the Steelers and a not-so-big game from the Dolphins. Take the Steelers -3. Bet smarter, beat the books. Download the BetMGM Network. Please gamble responsibly.
My name is Whitney Allen. I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
At Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
It's the season of giving at Nielsen Dodge. During this season of light and generosity, we're giving you our best deals on every car, truck, and SUV in stock.
That's right, Chels, and we're pulling out all the stops to bring you extra special holiday offers.
Lease a new 2026 Jeep Compass Limited 4x4, just $189 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $299 a month. Or choose from hundreds of quality certified pre-owned vehicles.
We'll also give you 0 down payment. We always give you the credit help you need.
Fun is in the driver's seat when you save money.
On Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
Fun is in the driver's seat.
Wrap up the year's sales event. With approval term 27 months due at signed Compass 5189, Cherokee 5894. At tax tag 498 doc and DMV fees.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
Guys, thanks for helping me carry my Christmas tree.
Zoe, this thing weighs a ton.
Drewski, live with your legs, man.
Santa! Did you get my letter?
He's talking to you, Bridges.
I'm not.
Of course he did, right, Santa?
You know, my elf Drewski here, he handles the nice list.
An elf? I'm 6'3". What everyone wants is iPhone 17. And at T-Mobile, you can get it on them. That center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. Right, Mrs. Claus?
I'm Mrs. Claus's much younger sister. And at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch, so you can keep your old phone.
Or give it as a gift.
And the best part, you can make the switch to T-Mobile from your phone in just 15 minutes.
Guys, my side of the tree is slipping.
Timber!
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Switch in just 15 minutes and get iPhone 17 on us with no trade-in needed.
With 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement 256 gigs, $830. Eligible port in a new line. $100 plus a month plan with autopay plus taxes and fees required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
At Town Fair Tire, New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, you get it all. The guaranteed lowest price, the most free services, and we accept all valid rebates from any manufacturer and from our competition. Yes, we accept them all, even competitor rebates. Town Fair Tire, New England's largest discount tire dealer. Now with over 120 stores from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Boomer here. If you care about cooking your meat to perfection as much as I do, the IQ Sense Smart Meat Thermometer from Chef IQ wirelessly monitors your food's internal temperature in real time and pairs with the Chef IQ app to tell you when it's time to flip, rest, and serve. So there's no guesswork, there's no overcooking, just perfect USDA safe temps every single time. It even connects to the new Chef IQ mini oven for hands-off precision cooking. So why not grab yours today at chefiq.com, code word boomer to save 30% at checkout.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, The Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Busy back on The Fan here. 888-808-1019 is the number. Back to the calls in a second. How about the Mahomes stuff? You know, that's why, like, we're always so quick, and I understand. I'm saying I've never done it myself. I have. But we're always in such a rush to anoint somebody as, like, the GOAT or making inroads to being the GOAT. It's going to be a very interesting second half of Patrick Mahomes' career. Now, I know that Brady got hurt. Remember that? That was opening week. He had his knee shattered as well. Matt Castle came in. Brady came back, and Brady obviously went on to do what Tom Brady went on to do. But Brady was certainly less reliant on athleticism and, wiggle and out-of-the-pocket stuff than Mahomes. Now, Mahomes doesn't run the way he used to. But looking at a typical return from an ACL tear, 10 to 12 months. This is just a guess, and I hope I'm wrong, but I don't even think he's really ready for week 1 next year. I don't. I think that that's a little bit ambitious. Not that he can't do it, but I think that that's probably a little unlikely. So even that aside, even if that's the case, even if he is back, the Patrick Mahomes that we've watched the last couple of years has not been the same Patrick Mahomes that we were accustomed to watching when he first came in the NFL. I mean, his touchdown totals have just dropped off the face of the earth compared to what he was doing. 50, 38, 37, 41. And you look at listen, he threw 50 touchdowns in his second year. But I think all things considered, I would have to say his best year at the I'm going to say at the apex of his powers. I'd have to say it was 2022. He's 27 years old. He goes for almost 5,300 yards. 53. 41 touchdowns. Led the league in touchdown percentage. Led the league in first downs. Led the league in yards per game. Led the league in quarterback rating. MVP. Just amazing. But since then, 27 touchdowns, 14 picks, 26 touchdowns, 11 picks, 22 touchdowns, 11 picks. Don't get me wrong, I would give a finger to have a Jet quarterback do one of those, put up one of those years. But, he's dropped. I think every time, more times than, not every time, but more times than not, I put the Chiefs on. And, it's late first quarter, early second quarter. They have no points, or they've got three, kind of like the Eagles for a while before, the Eagles obviously busted out yesterday, but the Eagles run where they had those back-to-back primetime games, they were having a real rough time scoring. Their offense was incredibly confounding, and the Chiefs have been like that more of the year than they have not been. So it's two things to overcome. Number one, why has Mahomes and his all-world production, why has it been stunted? Why is it stagnated? Well, I think, number one, Kelsey's not quite the same. Tyreek Hill is gone, and, let's face it. Usually, the best players on the Chiefs were among the best players at every position in the NFL. Even Chris Jones, that's not the case anymore. And Mahomes is not. He's just not. So I'm rooting for him. I love him. Been great for the game. But I'm very curious what kind of quarterback he comes back as. His rushing numbers have obviously dipped over the years, and you would think that they'd be further compromised, next year when he comes back, because he's going to be favoring the knee a little bit. And, he's, not that this matters, some people just have these but he's a thickish, he's not like, I don't know. I'm not sure how he's going to age, I guess is what I'm saying, So I wish him the best. I love Mahomes. I love everything that he represents. Infectious energy, accountability, and really NFL brilliance. But as he gets ready to hit the rehab trail, he just has not been the Mahomes that we've seen for really basically 3 years. He's been a different guy. 888-808-1019. Let me get, how about Danny in Centerport on the Fan? Danny, what's going on?
BT, my good friend, how are you?
Daniel, what's going on, dude? How you doing?
All right, pal. BT, listen, of course I could go on with you forever. You know the deal with the Jets. You know how much we die together. But I really just called out. I've been out for a minute not calling because my soul has been ripped out, just like yours. So, I go on pure passion, BT, and you know that. So the passion has been ripped out of my soul. So I'm just calling to thank you for everything, all the years of you and I together on the radio. We have mutual friends. Your boy Beanie is a good friend of mine.
Love him.
We've talked a ton about, Spumoni Gardens and Brenner and Carr and Roland Roaster. Yeah. We go back a long time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Listen,
No
man,
doubt.
I'm going to miss you on the radio. I'm going to miss yapping with you and sulking together, and maybe one day we'll raise a Lombardi trophy together. But listen, from my heart of hearts, seriously, you've been one of the main guys. I've been calling this station for probably 35 years, BT. I go back to Bill Daughtry, and coming home from Cleveland Municipal Stadium, he would be my first guy I would call, and road trips. And, I've seriously been calling this station forever, man.
I know.
But you have been my guy always, man. So
I appreciate that,
wish
Dan.
you the
Thank
best.
you.
And listen, BT, I'm being real sincere here. I would love to jump on with you, and I'll work it out with Beanie if I have to. I would love to jump on to you with your podcast and do a jet podcast together every once in a while, because I could give you stories like you could never imagine. We could talk forever about the Jets. So I would love to do that, BT, if you allow me. I'll reach out through Beanie somehow, and we'll make it happen. But sincerely, all the best to you, brother.
I
and,
appreciate it.
You've been awesome.
Thank you very much, Dan. And by the way, we got some more shows this week, so it's not the last show. Thank you very much, man. Yeah, putting some things together, and it starts with the live BT and Sal show. So just go to my social media stuff. We've got it. It's gonna be a fun night. It'll be a lot of fun. January 22nd. There's a limited amount of tickets. They go on sale tomorrow. And that is on, again, all my social stuff. Myconcerts.net is where the actual information is, but you can't get them until tomorrow. So Boone's coming by. We're going to have a lot of fun, some other unexpected guests that I can't get into yet. But, yeah, guys, like Sal said, we're not dying. We didn't die, It's the business. Things change. And I can promise you that I'm not going away. I can absolutely promise you that. Fred, but thank you for the kind words, Danny. Freddie's in Marine Park. What up there, Fred? Freddie. Freddie was hanging on for a while. Is Freddie not there? Come on, he's from Marine Park. It's where I'm from. I can't cut him yet. Freddie, 3, 2.
BT.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
What happened,
How you
Freddie?
doing?
I'm good, man.
Well, listen, okay. I got to tell you, I've been listening to you guys. Well, I can't remember the last time there was a song on my radio other than the fan. But, I listen to you guys, you and Sal, all the time. And I've always wanted to call, but the only thing that compelled me to call today was you talking about sketching on the back of the UPS truck. And I got to tell you something.
Yeah.
I listen to you. When I'm listening to you, I always love the neighborhood references. We're the same age. I guarantee if you saw me, you would know me.
I probably would.
And I know that we know a ton of the same people.
Probably.
I grew up on Marine Parkway.
Well, but what high school? Would you go to Madison? What high school?
I went to Zavarian.
Oh, you did go to Zavarian. Okay, there you go.
I did go to Zavarian, and
nice.
But I grew up on the best. I grew up on the best block in the neighborhood as far as sketching.
That's
but
a good
I really wanted to know if we had the same UPS driver, because it wasn't like back in the day. I had a black guy, and his name was Isaac.
Oh, I don't remember what his name was.
But do you remember? My dad had a business on Marine Parkway, so we would get packages constantly. He became like part of the family. I don't know if you.
Well, Freddie, that's how it was back then. Like the mailman, the UPS, like you just knew people. It was different. Great neighborhood to grow up in, man.
Yeah, I think you know a buddy of mine. You know Chris Jones?
Yes, I do know Jonesy. Yep.
You do know Jones, yeah.
I think everybody knows Jonesy. Yeah.
Everybody, yeah. So, we grew up. Well, he was he kind of took me out of my crib. I mean, we've been living 2 doors apart for 50 years now. But, yeah, I mean, the sketching, I thought was like just such a...
Well, Freddie, it's a unique piece of Brooklyn, and thank you for that call, Fred. It's a unique. The only reason I even came up is I had to go and get salt. Yes, I said this a couple hours ago. I had to go and get salt for the snow, and I usually like shoveling, but I wasn't really prepared. Things snuck up. I've been a busy week or two, so I didn't have the salt. And I wanted to go before the Jets and the Giants played, so I'm like, all right, let me shovel from like 11:15 to 12:50, whatever it might be. Because the way my street is, they just, when they plow the street, I'm on the side of the street, that gets the wet, slushy ice, which is a pain in the ass to lift. It's heavy, it's hard, and if I don't do it before the sun goes down, then it's rock solid the next day, then I'm never going to do it. Anyway, so I generally enjoy it, though. But I had to go get the salt, and when I was going to get the salt, I was at a stop sign, and there were 4 or 5 boys. I think they were about 11, like a little bit older than my kids, and I saw them pelting each other with snowballs. I'm like, that's great. I just had a good feeling about it. But I was also, as I was driving away very slowly, I was hoping one of them would pelt my car with a snowball. I kept looking at the rear view. I'm like, come on, show off the hose. Just hit me, will you? I might even give you a little token, tap the brakes, give you a little brake light so you think I'm going to chase you. I ain't chasing anybody the way my body feels, like my legs at least, chasing nobody. But they don't know that. But they didn't do it. And I was like, man. And then I got into the sketching, and that's how it came up. So, yeah, Fred, you got to be from certain, maybe Canarsie did it, other areas. I don't think everybody was sketching. I can promise you that. All right, BT on the fan. It's 141. What do I got, Dove Reeds? I'm all over the map here. What? ELEC. Love ELEC. All right. Let me tell you about ELEC. Where are ELEC? Yep, the operating engineers, the local 825 men and women who make our region move, whether it's roads and bridges or your favorite team stadium. They build and maintain the critical transportation, water, and energy infrastructure that we all rely on. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing these signatory contractors and the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
It's Boomer and Gio. Mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
That's really what I need to see is them getting their future quarterback, where they end up at the end of the year. Darren Muji building this roster. They don't have enough players, and I also think that, right now I evaluate the coaching staff as like a D.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The Dallas Cowboys' slim playoff hopes are basically done after a loss to the Vikings yesterday. They got their act going too late this season, and this idea that they got their defense fixed, apparently not true. But now we head into the offseason once again with major questions in Dallas. Will they re-sign mercurial wide receiver George Pickens? Seems like the Cowboys never do things the easy way, which makes for great content, but not a playoff trip, at least this season. I'm Andrew Perloff.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Need to sell your house fast? Whether you're facing foreclosure, stuck with bad tenants, or just ready for a fresh start, House Buyer Network can help. We buy homes as is for cash. No fees, no commissions, no repairs. Get a fair cash offer in just 24 hours and close in as little as 7 days. Call 833-719-5877 now for your free no-obligation offer. That's 833-719-5877. House Buyer Network. Fast cash, no hassle.
Offers are typically below market value in exchange for speed and convenience. Call for details.
At Audi Manhattan, experience best-in-class service in the heart of New York. Visit their Audi flagship store today, conveniently located on 55th and 11th. Audi Manhattan, where luxury meets excellence.
At Straight Talk, we know the holidays are your time to say
yes.
So why put up with a wireless company that makes you say
out of data?
Or
no service here?
Switch to Straight Talk and say yes to real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network covered by Verizon. And with a free 5G phone when you activate select plans, someone else in your family can say yes! Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Based on RootMetrics Data 5G Report United States 1H 2025. Experiences may vary. Not an endorsement of Verizon. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
This is Tiki Barber. You definitely don't want your heating system to fail this winter. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Have them check your heating system before it breaks. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They can fix anything. Go now to EdisonHVAC.com.
Quality is very important here at the North Pole. You see, I checked my list once, twice. All done.
Well, Santa, quality's important to us at Nissan, too. We actually test every model thousands of times. There's the frame twist test, shaker test, corrosion test, drive load test, tug-of-war test, towing test, off-roading test, practical strength test, splash test, corrugated road test, chassis dynamics test, water intrusion test, extreme heat test, extreme cold test, rough road test, jump test, curb impact test. And physical parts tests.
Save on J.D. Power's #1 mainstream brand in new vehicle quality at the Nissan year-end event. Get 0% APR on the 2026 Nissan Rogue, 2025 Murano or Pathfinder for well-qualified buyers. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary, subject to NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 1/5/26.
Injured in an accident? You need help. The Rothenberg Law Firm. Lawyers that have built a legacy of victory over 5 decades, winning billions for their clients. The Rothenberg Law Firm. Call 1-800-624-8888 or visit injurylawyer.com.
Hey, New Jersey, now's the time to enroll in quality, affordable health coverage through Get Covered New Jersey. All plans provide free preventive care, coverage for prescriptions, emergency services, and more. Plus, 8 in 10 get financial help to lower monthly costs. If you have questions or need help enrolling, Get Covered New Jersey is here for you. Hurry, open enrollment is happening now. Enroll by December 31st for January 1st coverage at getcovered.nj.gov. Getcovered.nj.gov.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDs. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
On the Fan, 888-808-1019. You know, and I'm trying, my brain's in shambles, trying to get a sense of how the ultimate NFL draft order is going to shake out. I don't know. There's just so many different possibilities and machinations, and obviously that Colts thing, you know, that was at one point 28 or 29. I spent a little time on that earlier, but I mean, they've lost 4 straight. I don't think they win again. I really don't. They're certainly going to be dogs in every game. And if they win, it's maybe 1, and I don't even think that they're going to win 1. So based on the numbers, and a lot of this is obviously, you know, taking the numbers and strength of schedule, and you've got to take a leap of faith to an extent. But there is a chance that Colts, it would have to be perfect for the Jets, and that's not going to happen. Like a million variables would have to strike, and it's just highly improbable. But if it did, then that Colts move would actually, or that Colts pick would move into the top 10. I think it's probably going to settle around 15, you know, kind of splitting some of those numbers. But right now it's 18, and the Giants have the top spot. Vegas is number 2. Giants don't need a quarterback. Vegas does. Pete Carroll's done a horrendous job there. Wow. The Tennessee Titans have the same 2 wins as the Giants in Vegas, but they've got their quarterback, you would think. Listen, I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what the Browns are thinking. Number 1, because they're the Browns, and number 2, because Sanders has put some good things on tape, but then he's also made a lot of mistakes. So, I mean, you have to think they're taking a quarterback, right? You'd have to think, unless Sanders, you know, lights it up the last game or 2, and then you got the Jets and the Cardinals, who were 3 wins. Wow. The Saints game was wild. That was one. So I was locked into, hey, we're both ugly. I'm locked into the Colts-Seattle game, where my guy Myers, Jason Myers from Marist, helps us out, bangs in a 54-yarder after the Colts hit a 60-yarder. And Rivers had a 3rd and 8. I mean, I'm like, come on. Don't tell me that this 45-year-old grandpa is going to just come off the couch and just stick it to the Jets. And I love Rivers. I say that with a smile. But the Jets got a little lucky there. And then the Jets got a lot lucky with that 15-yard late hit when the Saints just a little quarterback keeper up the middle. And I think he gained Chuck about 7 or 8 yards and a late hit. There's the flag, 15 yards, bang, 47 yards out. It's good. So it was pretty nuts, and that's where we are. Another year, just kind of, you know, scoreboard watching. That's basically the entire season for the Jets and the Giants. Way too many years. All right, FAN Talk on the NFL is brought to you by Verizon. Get to your local Verizon store today. Let me get, how about John and Freehold? John is on the Fan. What's going on, John?
Hey, BT. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good. What's up?
I wish you a lot of prosperity and good luck, and a wonderful holiday season for you and your family. I wish you the best. I'm going to miss you.
I appreciate that, John. Thank you very much, buddy.
Listen, I know you, I, and the rest of the Jet fans are desperate for that franchise quarterback, BT, but I just hope that Aaron Muji and Aaron Glenn and the rest of the staff have the patience and the fortitude not to do something silly and stupid. I know there's been a lot of discussion about the Jets trading up with the Giants or someone else to get the franchise quarterback. I don't know how you feel, BT, but the Jets have so many holes. They need so many, playmakers on both sides of the football to rebuild this franchise. And when I look at Mendoza, BT, this guy doesn't splash off the screen to me. I don't see a slam dunk, can't miss franchise Super Bowl, potential winning quarterback being drafted with the number 1 overall pick. So with that being said, they really got to do their due diligence. They really got to do their homework. And they got to have 100% assurance that whoever they pick, if they move, wind up moving up, that guy's going to be a hit. It's going to be a home run move, and it's going to work to get them that franchise quarterback and eventually build them into a Super Bowl winning team.
Yeah, but John, the problem is there is no 100% guarantee. You could be 95%, and the 5% miss rate is the one that hits. You don't know.
No, but in a lot of cases, BT, like I said, a guy just splashes off the film for you.
I hear you.
And I just don't see anybody in this current class coming out having that. So with that being said, I'm going best player available. I'm fortifying this roster with playmakers on both sides of the football.
Yeah.
You don't need a franchise receiver to play opposite Garrett Wilson. You know they need some fatties on the defensive front line to stop the run with defensive tackles.
Mm-hmm.
They need another pass. They need another edge rusher. And they're probably going to have to replace John Simpson with a better upgrade and a better answer at the tackle position to finish fortifying that offensive line.
Yep.
So, I mean, the best thing you could say about this team with the horrendous season they had is they probably have the best special teams unit in the league right now, and they're fun to watch. So at least you fortified that, and you're still hopeful with that going forward.
But John, I think you also made it seem like the O-line, I don't think that I necessarily disagree about Simpson, but the O-line is a strength, and thanks for the call. Yeah, I mean, the Giants and the Jets could go myriad directions. I mean, you want to take a linebacker, top the draft, get the kid from Ohio State, Reese. You want to do that? The kid, you need somebody to get to the quarterback like the Jets absolutely do. Get the kid Bain from Miami. You could do that. I mean, Ohio State, Caleb Downs, safety. Go out there. Jets need a safety. So do the Giants. Go out there, do that. I mean, kid from Auburn, Falk, edge rusher. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that they can do. The one thing, at least about the Jets, that's very different than the Giants. Giants had their quarterback. If he's going to stay healthy, that's a different discussion. I hope so. I have no idea. All I can tell you is, does he have the requisite traits to be a stud? If I close my eyes, right, and the Giants magically, hire the right GM, hire the right coach, draft the right people, do all the things they got to do. If that happens, big if, can I see in a couple of years with some maturation, can I see Jackson Dart hoisting a Lombardi trophy? I could. I love him. So it's different angles for the Jets and the Giants. But as I get back to the Jets here, you guys have to understand this. And I know what John's saying, like, don't just reach, right? Don't just move draft mountains. If you like somebody, you got to love them. Understood. Guys, they are not chained to our tortures like we are. Like, we operate through our Jets prism, and Muji and Glenn are operating through theirs. And theirs consists of 1 year. Ours consists of however old you are. Decades of pain. So while many of you are sitting here, I got to get the quarterback, and when you think that way, you kind of speed up the mindset. You start to rush. You're a little desperate. And whether you're hasty and desperate or a combination of some other things that can really skew your mindset, you generally lose clarity in those situations because you start to imagine things that aren't there because you really need something. You're desperate. Oh, yeah, this guy's not that big, but man, I think he could be this guy's good, but man, I wish he was a little bit quicker. We can work around that. Or, he's accurate, but I wish he had a little more zip. We can do that's fine. Because we're so desperate to find somebody to be a quarterback. They're not thinking that way. When we were sitting here through the Idzik nightmare and the McCagnon nightmare, and Joe Douglas actually drafted some good players, but in terms of the record, the Joe Douglas nightmare, they were in different spots. Denver, Detroit, winning, having varying degrees of success. So when I say that they have not been chained like the shackles of torture that we've carried with us forever, they don't feel that. And because they don't feel that, and they are looking at it as, the way a healthy franchise should, not trying to overcome decades of hell, but just build it out the right way, they've got a clear mind. And they've got a vision. And they're not going to speed it up. And they're not going to overreact or overreach just because some of you want them to because you're desperate. That's the beauty of a new regime. And that was part of the problem last year. Like, Dable and Shane, should they really come back? Are they going to draft just to save their asses? Is Dable going to coach just to save us behind? Those are things you don't have to worry about from the Jets' point of view. This is the first time I've ever gone out with this FAN music. No, I never did this. Let's see how close we can come to hitting the post. I don't know. I think I'll be all right. Got about, 20 seconds there, We'll be back tomorrow, back Wednesday, off Thursday, back Friday. Then it's a wrap. Evan and Tiki coming up next. Hopefully something happens on the diamond. A little Knicks tomorrow as well with the Cup. Have a great Monday. Appreciate you for sure. Back tomorrow at 10. Evan and Tiki coming up next on The Fan. We'll see you.
Sports Radio 101.